Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, we thought we were done with Kirby Month, but Kirby Month wasn't done with us. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I am always joined, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. Mark, how's it going?
It's going great. As we said in the cold opening, I wasn't expecting to be talking about Kirby again this week.
Boy, what a lie, though, because
we planned it all along.
This has been part of our schedule since the beginning.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, we keep two schedules, one that the audience hears about, and one that's just for us.
Yep.
Here's probably not a surprise because his name will be in the title of the episode. We are joined today by our good friend, writer, director, performer, the one and only Greg Smith.
Yay!
Thank you. Another lie. There are too many Greg Smiths in the world. Anytime I have to make a user account or my email address, there are so many permutations that are already taken.
Oh, as a Mark Mitchell, let me tell you that I feel that pain for sure.
Patrick is a common name. Ellers, though.
The thing is, there are other Patrick Ellerses, but they're all like lawyers or business people.
Oh, respectable.
Yes, I could never be confused with these people, is what I'm saying. Greg, thank you for. We bring you on, I think, for Herculean tasks. And we decided what the best piece of Nintendo music of all time was.
Sure did.
That took days and days for us to. We destroyed my wall, putting Post-it notes all over it.
Yep.
And today is some different, but not as much different.
I would agree. And thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to be here. What I remember from ranking the best Nintendo music is that in the literal first round, we got rid of the main theme to Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Which is pretty weird.
Yep.
I have a feeling that, and I'm hoping that today will feel as many Post-it notes as there are. There's no way we can reach that level of controversy and brain-breaking sort of decision-making.
I don't know. I say let's make that our goal.
Wow.
I say let's get to that. But before we get to that, let's get to this. My copy of Sonic Forces, would you like to borrow it? I guess I could. Greg, would you like to borrow it? You don't have to say yes, but any of our listeners, if you would like to borrow it.
I feel like he didn't give me room to say anything. He just kind of kept talking.
All you got to do is email us
like I'm not here.
Nintendo Cartridge Society
at gmail.com.
Now they're both
and give us a mailing address, which is not Greg Smith's house, so we can send my copy of Sonic Forces to you. There may be a copy of Untitled Goose Game in there. And that's just a thing that you can deal with however you see fit.
And Greg, whether you borrow it or not, it remains the perfect program. Another thing you can do is you can leave us
just said another thing in unison without explaining it to me.
Another thing you can do is you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate it so much. It helps people find the show. Patrick and I love reading your reviews. If you leave us a 5-star review on the US Apple Podcast Store, we can see that you did. So we'll give you a shout out on the show. If you leave us a review anywhere else, we can't see it, but we appreciate it just as much. Feel free to send us an email, hit us up on Twitter. We would love to give you recognition.
But now, let's get into it. Let's rank Kirby's copy abilities in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay, so there are 81 of these things. And I think we are largely going to be ranking them by aesthetics, right? We're deciding how much we like Kirby looking like these other characters, right?
Sure.
Before going into this, do either of you? Well, Greg? What is your relationship to Super Smash Brothers, just generally speaking?
I'm a big fan of Super Smash Brothers. Particularly, I know there are a lot of Puritans who say things like Melee is the best one or whatever. I would, recency bias aside, I feel like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is an objective titan of a video game.
Yeah.
I would call it one of the best anyone has ever made. I think it is so much fun. And for whatever reason, growing up playing this game, I used to get pretty frustrated pretty quickly at how bad I was, especially compared to my friends. With this one, I don't know, maybe I've just kind of like been through the sort of like training circuit enough, beaten up enough hunks of meat in frozen lockers with Burgess
Running
Meredith
behind
yelling
the
at
car,
me.
yeah.
Exactly. That even though I'm, I have my bad moments and my good moments, it always feels very cumulative in a very satisfying way.
Yeah, I feel, and that may also, like, I feel kind of the same way that, like, I had friends that were, like, hard into Smash growing up. And now I feel like the playing field has just leveled. And not that I've played the new one a bunch with other people, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. Mark, how would you describe your relationship with Smash?
I feel like I generally am like bad at fighting games, and that's true for Smash Brothers as well from like a technical level. But one thing I've always appreciated about Smash Brothers is that it kind of levels the playing field with like items. So you don't have
Yeah.
to be like amazing at it. It's kind of like Mario Kart in that way, right? Like occasionally you get that blue shell and you're like, all right, I'm coming for you first. And I feel that way about Smash Brothers, where even though I might be outmatched on a technical level, like that hammer shows up
Yeah.
and you're just like, all right,
Yeah, you start
it's my
mopping
time.
the floor.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just with items, true. It's I would say like the C-stick sort of smash attack is a very accessible thing. The ultimate smash makes it a very accessible kind of shifter. And even just the fact that there are multiple special moves where with not a ton of technical knowledge or acumen needed, you can do some damage.
Yeah. And each character is so like unique that if you and there, especially in Ultimate, there are so many of them that if you find one that for whatever reason like you really glom onto, then it's pretty easy to like you're saying, like it's not that technical to learn the move set. And so once you understand a character, you can get pretty good at that specific character.
I also like that sometimes it can be like there can be like a level of depth to a specific character, but it's usually a kind of depth that's being borrowed from their home game or like home series. Like I will never understand how to play as the Minecraft characters because I've never played Minecraft.
Yeah.
But I know that that's like an intuitive thing if you are familiar with the series. I feel like the same is sort of true of like the hero from Dragon Quest. Like if you've played Dragon Quest, you know what each of those spells do. So like when you select it, it makes sense to actually like use those abilities.
Conversely, I've never played a Castlevania game, and I'm just using them as an example. There are others, I think. The two characters whose names I am blanking on.
Simon
and
is it Richter, the other one?
I like love playing as them in Super Smash Brothers. I love their chain moves. I love how like brawly they kind of are.
Yeah.
And it makes me, they have that effect. So do some of the Fire Emblem characters. They give me like an entry point into what I had previously considered kind of an over dense, hard to get into mythology that maybe makes me want to try it.
Totally. And to your point of like Ultimate being one of the greatest video games of all time, I feel like it is such a love letter to video games. And that like entry point into other series has been true of, Ultimate or of Smash Brothers for so long when Marth showed up in Super Smash Brothers before, you know, like any of his games had ever really been released outside of Japan, or even having, like Ness in there. I just feel like there's
or Captain Falcon even.
Oh
for me,
yeah,
for me.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, weirdly for me, also the Pokemon. Like I like because there are a ton of Pokemon in these games, and like this is how I want to interact with Pokemon. I want them to just like be brawling with each other in real time. Yeah, it's. What a fun game. What a cool thing. We're going to drill in on a very specific
we're
dimension
focusing on what matters.
We're focusing on what matters, the Kirby of it all. Now, Greg, you did not appear on our episode where we determined what franchise contributed the most to Super Smash Brothers, but
And it was hurtful that I wasn't asked. Keep going.
but you did email us and suggested that Kirby is the most represented in the series. 3 characters, but also the game just lives and breathes Kirby DNA, right? It feels like Kirby. You move the way Kirby moves. It's just exactly Kirby, and that's it. That's where we came down on that issue. So, and it's not because we're afraid of you or intimidated by you, but that is the decision that we made.
I will say it's weird that the way we're set up now, you've put my chair a lot lower than you guys' 2 chairs. Almost like you're trying to sort of balance the equilibrium is how I would phrase it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Balance. We want the equilibrium shifted in a way that makes us feel safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's hard to understand you when you're shaking while you talk, but
do we have any early? We're going to be talking about all of Kirby's copy abilities. Should we just run through all of them at this point? Like just say what they all are. I mean, they're all just the characters in Smash. So maybe we need to just like bring up each one, talk about them a little bit, and maybe sort them into like a tier level of whether we think it's like an A tier or B, C, other letters as well.
Yeah, let's my vote is we start by just running through all of them, and then we'll loop back around and start determining like where we feel like they should fall.
Like fall within those groupings,
right?
Okay. So let's start off with the OG.
Before we get too far into it,
yes, this is a great point.
I feel like we just need to promise each other that no matter where these rankings fall, we will leave here as friends. The rankings are the rankings,
and they're definitive, and we agree on them.
But if feelings are hurt, we'll still remain friends.
Okay, I begrudgingly accept.
That's all I can ask.
All right, you can sit in one of the real chairs now.
Thank you. Ouch, it's so high up.
It's nice up here. We're starting with Mario. Mark, can you find the Mario Kirby? There it is. Mario Kirby. He wears Mario's hat. It's a simple design.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else changes about him, but it's Kirby in a Mario hat. What level do we think that belongs in? Is that, I feel it in my gut, I feel like it's B tier, right? Like it's not a creative design, but it is classic.
Yeah, it's classic. It's iconic. It's pretty darn cute. But it's almost too expected. I think B is a good place for it.
All right. B tiers are going behind me.
Okay, B for behind.
B for behind. That's so good, Greg. Next up is Donkey Kong Kirby. Now he kind of dons like a whole monkey suit here, right? Like it's fur that goes all the way around like behind his back, under his chin, and he's got like the Donkey Kong haircut, the little spikies on top.
Yeah, the haircut really throws me for a loop. I don't like it.
I don't when I think of Donkey Kong, I don't think of him as having this little like mohawk thing going on.
But like he does, right?
Does he?
He's got like a little like cowlick on the top of his head.
But this makes him look like he's like a assistant minor league baseball coach or something like that. I look at him and I'm like, he like goes to Buffalo Wild Wings and gets into a little too much trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like he gets drunk too quickly off of 2 shock top beers.
Yes.
Right.
And he's like kind of yelling at people and we're like, Donkey Kong Kirby, come on.
Just be cool, man.
Be cool.
I think also, look, we've been playing a lot of Kirby games lately, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a copy ability is just a hat, right? It's not a full bodysuit.
I feel like generally speaking that might be true.
But I don't love the impulse to put a copy ability in a box.
Okay, fair enough.
This one I don't love, but I like, unlike a Mario, that it does play with the design and put him in a full kind of thingy.
Okay, so we think it's at least worse than the Mario. So like C tier, or do we think even a D tier here?
Here's what I would do.
Come to its defense.
I feel like I like that. I don't think it screams Donkey Kong necessarily.
No, it doesn't.
I like that he's wearing this kind of like onesie type thing, presumably. Although I guess anything Kirby wears is a onesie because he has no body.
Right.
Or he's all body, however you want to look at it.
Right, and he's either 2.5 feet tall or 8 inches. We're not sure.
But I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it better than the Mario one.
Whoa. Is it because the Mario one is too simple?
It was just like, it's Kirby in a hat, and this is him in like an outfit. I like that he's in an outfit. That's just me. I can be outvoted. I'm backing down already.
I'm going to say C tier personally.
That's where I'm leaning.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll put it on the air conditioner.
Yes. C
For
for
conditioner. C for conditioner. All right, moving on to the number 3, Link Kirby. It is Kirby in a little green Link hat.
And he gets a bow and arrow.
And he gets,
Because I do feel like that's like
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. We can talk about the moves. I took notes on all the moves. The Mario one throws a fireball. Donkey Kong does his little like wind up punch, and it actually is pretty cute to see Kirby with his no arm, like doing a little wind wheel with his wind wheel. What do I mean?
Windmill.
Windmill. And then Link just shoots an arrow.
I don't know. For me, this is like Mario territory, but I like the Donkey Kong one better than Mario because it's a little more fun than just a hat. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is just a hat.
Yeah.
It's just a hat, and it's not, to me, as immediately evocative as the Mario hat. So it doesn't bring with it that iconography.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I'll say, and I'm just being honest. When Kirby wears this hat, I think Kirby's looking handsome.
Oh.
And I don't think I love thinking of Kirby as being handsome.
Well,
now, you should know. We've been talking a lot about what the pros and cons are of dating Kirby.
Interesting.
we've been keeping a running list of pros and cons to Kirby being our life partner.
Not just dating.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Dating long term.
Wow. Like serious.
Yeah.
My gut immediately says no.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Is it because he's too short to ride on roller coasters? 'Cause that's a big con for us.
It is, and that's my only reason.
I say let's put this in the C
Yeah, I think so.
With
category.
Donkey Kong?
With
Okay.
Donkey Kong, like for different reasons though, right? Like I think this is just a hat, but as Greg says, the hat it means less than the Mario hat. Which brings us to number 4, Samus Aran Kirby. So this is just this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is I
Because
love
it's
this one.
just the helmet with like 2 little boots sticking out the
It
bottom.
just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's like he's wearing Samus's helmet, and
Yeah.
but it's too, like it's so big on Kirby that it just fits over him perfectly.
Yes.
It's cute. I like
It's
this
very
one a lot.
intuitively cute.
So is that an A or
Yeah.
do we have an S tier?
I'd say we start with A.
Okay, we
And
started
then
with an
yeah, give us some room for flexibility.
A. What do we have around here that starts with the letter A?
Well, we could also put it on the air
air
conditioner.
conditioner?
for
That's
air.
yeah,
that's confusing. All right, the air conditioner on Mark's side of the photograph that is dividing the air conditioner in 2. Next up, Dark Samus. So this is our first what are they called? Echo characters. And it does look completely different. Functionally, it's the same thing.
It does look different. It looks scary.
I don't like it as much.
And for this reason, it's a C.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, actually, is it a D? Like, does it go
Yeah.
too far? Because it almost becomes like Space Marine-y.
I don't
Yeah.
even think it's cute. Like for whatever
Yes.
reason, the color combination is not cute. Whereas like the Samus one, I'm like,
Yeah, it's cute.
cute.
So D.
Yeah, I think so.
So we put it with the duck.
We put it with the duck.
Okay, so the duck is going to be in this chair over here. I have a duck in my house that's made of like steel and nails. Just explaining to the to the listener what we could possibly mean when we say the duck. All right, next is Yoshi Kirby.
So this one is Yoshi's wearing like a hat, almost like if you were buying a hat at Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios, like a Yoshi hat.
Yeah. Like it's
Yeah.
it is tough anytime you are taking a character that does not have any headgear and trying to make them into a hat, right? Like it almost looks like Kirby scalped Yoshi and is wearing it on his head. Here's something I do want to point out from just like the move that he adopts when he copies Yoshi is that he does a thing where he eats you. So like, but now he has Yoshi's tongue, and then poops out the little egg that you're inside. So he maintains the ability.
Well, really, it's like Jar Jar Binks' tongue.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yes. But it's the same. He still gets to like eat people. There's a like a Kirby-ness continuity there that I appreciate. I don't know where that means I want to put it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but isn't that maybe also a demerit?
Sure.
Isn't part of the joy of a Kirby copy that, from a move standpoint, you get to see Kirby do weird things Kirby would normally not do, vis-a-vis like windmill punching like Donkey Kong.
Right.
I also feel like, as far as like, why is Yoshi a hat? It just kind of feels like throwing their hands up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Design-wise, it does feel kind of bankrupt, right?
Yeah, it's just not as inventive as some. Not that like putting a Mario hat on Kirby is super inventive.
That is B tier
but
work.
I don't think, like when you think Mario, like the hat's pretty
hat.
iconic.
Yeah.
When you think Yoshi, you're not like, yeah, stick a Yoshi scalp on top of Kirby. That sells it.
Do we have to do the counterpoint of that though? Of like, then what do you do?
Well, here's what you do.
That's not on us though, right?
I know it's not on us,
Okay,
but I'll
all right.
take the task on. I would at least pitch, and granted, this is a bit of a retroactive thing, playing the new Kirby game, Forgotten Land, right now. I love the ways they are kind of surrealizing Kirby's eyes and moments.
Yes.
They'll get a little like anime or a little like suddenly they look completely different. To me, Yoshi's eyes are very iconic.
Yes.
You gotta give Kirby Yoshi's eyes.
Oh, he's got
be very cute.
Yoshi's eyes.
And give him the saddle too. Like honestly, this is because we will see this later in the list that there are copy abilities that are wholly transformative of Kirby, changing his very shape. So yeah, this is to this thing's detriment. It's D tier.
It's D tier.
It's D tier.
It's D tier.
Yeah.
All right.
Quack.
Quack. Next up is Kirby. Do we want to just throw this one out entirely?
Yeah, I think Kirby gets tossed into the void of space. Kirby.
Yeah.
Not really a copy ability. We tried. Patrick was trying it out earlier. Nothing happens. You don't even change color.
Yeah, nothing happens. Next up is Fox Kirby from the Star Fox series. So this is really just he gets the fox ears on the top of his head and this like thing. What is this thing that's on the top of a fox's head? It's like a little piece of like flight suit something. This little gray thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's part of his like fur, right?
Oh, does he have like a little bit of like a mohawk?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That at least evokes to me Star Fox's actual head.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
This one feels not as cute to me as it should be.
Yeah, there's something about it that's not quite intuitively clicking.
Yeah. Is it that? Here's what I think it needs. I think Kirby needs a little bit of a muzzle, right? He needs like a little bit of like a fox snout. Yeah.
Yeah, it reads as like Fox, but it doesn't read as Fox McCloud to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what do we
Give
think?
him a little like holster.
Yeah, for his little blaster.
Uh-huh.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I want to see a little Han Solo Kirby.
Yeah, give him a vest.
Yeah. Yeah, give him the vest.
Give him the vest.
This is a C.
Yeah. Not quite D tier. It's not bankrupt as some of the others.
You guys feel like this is on the same level as Donkey Kong?
Look,
I think it's in the same tier.
I'm happy to discuss Donkey Kong moving up to B. If it's going to assuage you.
Well, I mean, it would, but we'll get back to it.
In the early going, it becomes difficult because you have to compare, and so like things have to fall somewhere. Next up is the Pikachu Kirby, which maybe suffers from the same issue as the Yoshi.
I don't mind it as much.
I don't either, and I can't really articulate why. Maybe it's because like
that feels like a much more regular product, right? That like you could encounter a little Pikachu beanie in the wild, and that's what it would look like.
Yeah, I've seen people wear them. Yeah.
Is that sorry, Mark? I kind of cut you off.
I think that's like a good. I think that's a good point. Yeah.
I will say, looking at it now, and again, I don't know if it is our place to suggest corrections or improvements.
Yeah.
What is a critic versus a creator role? We can get into all of that into detail. But for Pikachu Kirby, I don't love that the hat has eyes. because Kirby has eyes.
Especially because Kirby also has like the pink
cheeks.
cheek.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
and
that like
yeah.
that Pikachu has, and so it's like, oh well, you don't really need the eyes on the hat.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is really a mask that Kirby should have pulled down over his face? And
He's just
pulled it
like
up?
he's just like finished the robbery.
Right,
and
so
he's
he's back in the car now.
he's
and
pulling it up so he can
debriefing,
breathe.
right.
It's Point Break, but with Pikachu instead of presidents.
I also think he needs a tail. I would
Yeah.
just give it to him. Just give him the tail.
100% needs a tail. Now, well, I don't remember. When Pikachu Kirby zaps forward a little lightning bolt, does he say Pika or does he say Kirby?
He says Pika.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, well, and one of a copy ability that I'm going to champion much later down this list is mostly good because of what it makes Kirby say.
Does he curse?
No, no, he doesn't.
But
But
weirdly, when he's Luigi, he just screams
a blue
the F
streak.
word.
I personally think Pikachu is B tier,
Yeah,
like
intellectually.
on the same level as Mario.
yeah,
of that Mario.
I'll
hat.
agree with that.
Yeah,
But that's what. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, next up we got Luigi, which is the same trick as Mario.
Yeah, it's a B for me.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
it's,
easy.
it's a B for me too. All right, next up is Ness Kirby, which is just him wearing a backwards.
Now, I
baseball
know
cap.
I was saying that Donkey Kong Kirby looks like he goes to a B-dubs and gets into trouble.
Right.
Ness Kirby, whew.
He may go to strip clubs.
Oh
and
yeah,
get in trouble.
I have definitely been bullied by Ness Kirby
yeah,
before.
100%. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
He looks like Fred Durst.
Okay, now hold on.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Let's put it in the D tier. I think
Yeah.
there's just nothing happening there. It's
Yeah.
it's a backwards baseball cap.
Yeah.
I
It
have it
doesn't
in my
even.
hand.
I feel like we lose what Ness makes iconic is the word.
Yeah.
About a backwards baseball cap.
None of it really works. Also, I gotta say, I don't like the base B power for either of the Earthbound characters. The thing where you send the little psychic
Fire?
thing up.
Oh
and
yeah.
then,
If you are good at it,
yeah,
then you can wreck people with it and use it, to jump back from so far away. But I'm terrible at using it.
yeah. And that's what it boils down to for me. Next up is so we put that in the D tier. Next up is the Captain Falcon Kirby.
This is an obvious A for me.
Yeah, I think obviously.
Yeah,
for me
I
as
love
well.
this. It's like the Samus one, but for some reason, maybe it's like the little Batman mask or Captain Falcon mask he has going on.
Yep.
I love it.
And like an animated Batman, getting back into Kirby's eyes have changed when he puts this on.
Yes.
Yes.
He gets Falcon's eyes, and I think it's equal parts cute and cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Very strong.
I think also to our earlier point about the Han Soloization of some of these things, the way the mask is kind of cut almost feels like a vest, right? Like
Yeah,
the
it
side
does.
of it with his little arm sticking out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the complete package. I think that's just such a good look for Kirby. Next up is Jigglypuff Kirby.
Jigglypuff Kirby looking like a rockabilly retro 50s lead singer with that pompadour.
Yeah, and
I love it.
And the ears that sort of work with the design of I don't know, there's something about this copy ability that is almost too faithful. It looks like just another kind of Kirby, right?
Right. Well, it's one pink puffball
Right.
complementing another.
Yeah. I love it.
Where do we think this goes?
I'm fighting A.
Fight an A. Let's put it in A.
All right.
I think that's fair. Next up is Peach Kirby. This is just Princess Peach's crown.
Yeah, I want it to be cuter than it is.
Yeah.
I don't mind the crown.
No.
It's very medieval times. But, Kirby's there cheering on the black and white knight.
Right.
But
Only. No matter what section you
no
put
matter
it
what
in.
section.
He says
Well,
no.
he's a diehard. He brought his own crown. But I agree. I kind of want it to be a little bit more.
Yeah.
I also feel like we'll see better when we get to King
King
Dedede.
Yeah. Well, and there's the ability that he steals is the Toad ability, which there's something about that feels disrespectful to Toad.
Yeah, Toad should look like a Kirby too.
But that
Whoa.
would be amazing.
He should be a Waddle Dee.
He should be a Waddle
Hey,
Dee.
there it is.
But also, I kind of like that it's disrespectful to Toad because that feels right for Toad.
It does.
You're treated like dirt? That's a Toad move.
No,
Is
you're
Toad
right.
into that? Is it
Yeah,
consensual?
for sure.
Okay, good.
I don't know. I think he's not, and that's what makes it work.
I also like that Toad is about the same height as Kirby.
That's true.
yeah.
He's
That's
a
true.
little taller, at least in this picture.
Where do we think this goes?
I go C.
I'd go C
I
as
think
well.
C as well. Which then brings us, of course, to Daisy, which is just like a slightly different crown.
Yeah, the jewels for
Are
whatever.
a little different.
Yeah, it's a C, maybe even a C minus.
Yeah, I lean, and I don't think we'll necessarily do this for every Echo Fighter, but I go D for Daisy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you.
That's a good point that we now have 2 Echo Fighters in the D
Mhm.
category. So just something for us to be aware of.
Right.
We want to acknowledge our biases and tendencies. Next up is the Ice Climbers Kirby.
Wait, what
nope,
about
no,
Bowser?
sorry. Bowser is next. So he's got hair, he's got horns, he's got eyebrows.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I'm not mad at this. It's kind of neat.
I don't know, Mark. What are you thinking here?
I like the eyebrows.
Mhm.
I guess like the problem I have with this one is it doesn't scream Bowser to me. Like it has the horns, but if you first look at it, if you're just like glancing, you're like, oh, Ganondorf.
Yeah, you're right. And
Like-
it's not screaming it because it's missing green.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's missing like the sort of like leather daddy component of Bowser.
Oh, tell me more.
So he's always got these bracelets that are like these leather
Yeah.
spiky bracelets.
Why does he not have the bracelets?
Yeah, he should
Yeah.
have the bracelet.
It just feels like it's like missing detail that would really make
Yeah.
it clear that it's like Bowser. I don't hate it. I think it's C tier for me.
I would have gone B, but I think I like it just as an art piece on its own. Like if I went to the Met and I saw this with
Right.
note and it was called Untitled Pink Pastry or something like that, I'd
Right.
be like, hell yeah.
Untitled Pink Turtle King impersonator.
Mhm. But I see that it's in its representation of Bowser, it fails.
I think it looks more like the devil than it does. It's like Kirby
Yeah.
going to a Halloween costume,
Yes.
party.
Yeah, that's right.
But it doesn't.
And he went to
scream-
Spirit Halloween the night before. Everything else was picked over. He just had a classic devil costume to go with.
Well, where are you
And
going to
not
find
even
an
one that
extra
had a
extra
pitchfork.
small?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true too.
Yeah. So for me, it's just missing, like you were saying, Greg, those like Bowser details.
All right, so we're going C tier for Bowser. What?
I feel like it's a B, but that's fine.
Well, maybe we'll end up doing some Donkey Kong swapping
Mm-hmm.
a little bit later.
Yeah,
with
if I
Bowser.
let you put Donkey Kong in B, I get Bowser in B.
Next up is Ice Climbers Kirby.
It's pretty cute.
It is pretty cute. I mean, he just like wears their outfit. They're basically little blobs in the first
This
place.
is the Donkey Kong one done right.
Yes,
right? It's
you're
the
right,
same sort
you're
of
right.
idea where he has just this little like peekaboo cutout for his face, but it works really well with Ice Climbers because it's immediately identifiable as Ice Climbers.
What I like about it is that it betrays a certain vulnerability about this iteration of Kirby. There's nothing that makes me endear to someone more than the suggestion that they're cold. And the fact that Kirby's wearing a winter jacket. I'm
He's
like,
a cold
oh,
little
Kirby,
baby."
Let me get you hot cocoa.
There's also something
Let me
very,
give you a hug.
There's also something very nice about seeing both like two classic Kirby abilities, copy abilities mashed into one here, right? That we get like the ice ability and the hammer ability.
point.
Like it feels both very Ice Climbery and very Kirby. I think it's an A.
I think it's an A.
Yeah, and in Forgotten Land, you kind of, when you upgrade the
Mhm.
ice ability, you kind of get this like warm, he gets like a,
He gets
hat,
like a hat,
type
yeah.
thing. Yeah. So an A. Oh, right.
You got the A's. All right. Next up is Chic Kirby.
I love this one.
Me too. It's very strong. I really like his like 2000s emo scene hair.
Yeah, the hair sticking out from like under the wrap on top of his head, and then like a similar wrap covering the rest of his.
Like it's just the eyes
It's
poking
just the
out.
eyes
It's Kirby
poking
in
out.
disguise. I love it. This is an A tier for me.
I agree.
Yeah, that's an A. Next, we are at Zelda Kirby.
Zelda, Kirby.
Zelda Kirby. So the main feature that it takes from Zelda is the hair.
Right. Well, and she's got like a thing
the
across
little,
her.
like-
what is that?
Headband? No, not tiara.
Not tiara because it's lower.
Um,
It's like a.
I'll be honest. I don't know the word for low tiara.
Is that what a diadem is?
excuse me?
Diadem?
I've never heard that word.
Yeah, me either.
I only encountered it in the Harry Potter novels like a decade ago.
But yeah, a low riding tiara
And a wig.
and a wig.
He kind of looks like a Cobra Kai member to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is exactly what I was thinking. 80s action star.
Yeah. But like mean?
Like Masters of the Universe, basically.
Yeah, it's very mullety.
Uh-huh. I like it, but not that because it reflects Zelda.
It's the Bowser situation for
Yeah.
me. It's I like it objectively, but I don't see Zelda here.
No. Like, I get it. You're borrowing the hair, but it's just not...
I mean, but so if we can criticize something for just being a hat, we can criticize something for just being a wig, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what we have here. That like it's Kirby's wearing a wig.
The problem is I really like it on Kirby.
He looks great.
It's just not... I'm going to say B. I'm going to split the difference.
Now, why does this get a B and not the Bowser?
Because I don't... To my taste, I don't...
Oh, I see.
I don't,
Oh, I see.
I don't think that the... I just don't aesthetically like the Bowser one that much. This is the one I'd be staring at the Met.
Yeah.
I'd be like looking deep at those, like what look like sideburns on Kirby,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
like really contemplating my place in the universe.
Can we bring up the move though? Because the move
Oh,
that
this
he
could be a
copies
good
is
tiebreaker, yeah.
the like diamond sort of like where he just like spins and there's like a blue diamond around him that like deflects stuff.
Yeah.
That's not as compelling as breathing
Fire.
Bowser's fire breath.
That's true.
Yeah, to my taste, I'll always pick an offensive over a defensive move.
Yeah, I think this is C tier.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
All right.
Which brings us to Dr. Mario Kirby.
This feels like it should have been a home run, and it's not.
Where's the lab
Where's
coat?
the lab
It's
coat?
the lab
Where's
coat.
the lab coat?
Honey, where's the lab coat?
Where's the lab coat, honey?
It does make me wonder, like, why they choose mostly headgear and they don't really commit to any other parts of the outfit.
Yeah.
Because I agree, like, with like the Dr. Mario reflector, it's identifiable as Dr. Mario, but it doesn't bring me any joy.
Mm-mm.
Here's the other thing. Mark, you and I had a like running ranking of the best doctors in Dr. Mario world.
R.I.P.
RIP, which means we have seen any number of Mario characters, including Goomba Tower, with wearing a lab coat and with that reflector thing on a headband. And I feel like I'm just burned out on it or what, but I want to put this straight in the D tier.
It's a D.
All right, goes
What
in
a
the D
waste.
tier. Next up is Pichu Kirby. Like the Pikachu, but less iconic.
Yeah, I don't love the ears here. I feel like
It's a Pichu problem.
It is a Pichu.
yeah, it might be base level problem. But on Kirby especially, it's like too aggressive or something.
Yeah. I personally find Pichu to be an unlovable character.
Mhm.
So, like, mashing it up with Kirby, it does nothing for me. This is a D tier for me.
Yeah. I almost want to introduce an F tier. For it.
No, that's too mean.
That's too mean.
Just for Pichu, that's too mean.
All right. Then into the D tier. Here's the thing that I always dislike about Pichu, and it remains true of Kirby when he copies him. You take damage when you use your lightning ability
Yeah, because he's a little guy.
because he's just a little guy,
It's cute,
and the lightning hurts him.
but again, and I like the vulnerability. I want to give him hot cocoa, but here it does not. It does not heighten it beyond the point of a D.
Right. Next up is Falco Kirby. This is Falco from Star Fox. Kirby gets some like eye makeup,
Kirby's
a beak.
eaten. Kirby's eaten this look. I'm into it.
I'm into it too. It does not scream Falco to me, but it definitely screams glam rocker.
It's,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
cool. But Falco does have that blue mohawk.
He does have that blue
And
mohawk.
that's pretty rad.
And he's got that attitude, too.
He's got that attitude. I like the indication of the eyes with the red.
Mm-hmm.
The beak is a lot.
But it's what I was asking for on the Fox design.
Yeah, we wanted more, and Kirby gave.
Yeah.
I love this. It's an A for Greg.
I think I personally would put it at a B, but I think that leaves Mark to break the tie here.
I just really like the eye makeup.
Yeah, man.
It really makes me happy with the blue like mohawk. I think it's he looks like he's from like the Warriors or something.
does.
He does.
I give it an A.
All right,
I give it an
A tier is correct. We have now gone through 20 of 81 copy abilities. We're doing great.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Next up is Marth Kirby. Moth.
Talk about a wig.
This is a wig.
It's almost too much wig.
It's a lot. It's a lot of hair for Kirby.
I want to tell Kirby, like, Kirby, you wear the wig. The wig doesn't wear you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this wig. Wait. Yes. This is bad.
Yeah. It's a shake and go wig for sure.
It's a what wig?
Shake and go.
What does that mean?
Oh, you just get it out of the bag, shake it, and put it on. You're not like you're not spending the time to really make the
There's
wig
no
look
dressing
good.
this one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
D?
No, I
C?
is it so bad that it's almost like kind of funny?
Oh.
If that's the case, it's a C.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning
Yeah.
towards C.
All right. C it is. Next up is Lucina Kirby. This is a copy of, or not a copy, but an echo of the Marth copy ability.
So this is a copy ability, or this is a like echo character that I maybe like better than Marth because it has this like eyes wide shut mask happening.
Yeah.
The mask is a real swing.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's like a metal, like almost a metal butterfly.
Yeah.
With like gold accents and like slits where the eyes should be, like
It's
a pair of cool
dangerous.
80s sunglasses.
It gives me like Voldo from Soul Calibur.
Yes.
It gives me like, you mentioned Eyes Wide Shut. I get Event Horizon from this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a dangerous
It's
Kirby.
kind of too scary for me.
It is scary. It's like Kirby unhinged.
Which
Well-
I don't love that look from my little friend Kirby.
Here's the thing, though. Can we even deal with it in the context of this ranking? Like, is this Kirby? Is this a copy ability that transcends the copy abilities and becomes something else? This is a Kirby that looks deep into our souls and finds us wanting.
Mm.
Or maybe it's a B.
Well, if this Kirby puts us into the void, I feel like the only way to deal with that is to put this Kirby into the void.
Oh, so it joins Kirby.
Yeah.
In
the
not
we,
even
we can't deal with it.
no.
All right.
Emotionally, we are too fragile.
Yep.
To reckon with the implications of Lucina Kirby.
Do you see? He says.
That brings us now to Young Link Kirby. Similar to Link Kirby, with the weird exception of he's got these like little tendrils of hair.
Yeah, it's like wisps of hair.
And I gotta say, it's an improvement.
I don't know if I think it's an improvement. I definitely see it as an embellishment. There's more character there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that it almost makes Kirby look sickly. Does that read as sickly to anyone else?
So that's really funny. So because especially in the picture that we're looking at, it looks more like a beanie. It's like, oh, I know this guy.
Yeah.
I've done improv with this person.
Yeah. He lives in Silver Lake.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when he takes that off, his hair is thinning. You know?
Which is why he's wearing the hat in the first place.
Yeah, like all of his improv is sort of like reference based.
Mm-hmm.
He folds his arms. He kind of like texts while he talks to you. It gives me more than the other one.
Yeah.
Than
There's
the other
definitely
link, I should say.
Where did we put the other link?
I think
Kirby?
we ended up putting it. Oh,
C?
Yeah, I think we. No. It is. It's in the C tier.
Yeah.
I like it better than the
I
other
do.
link.
But
it tells
enough
me-
to do a B? I don't know.
Yeah, that's hard because it tells more story. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like. But I'm fine putting it in C. 'Cause
Yeah,
it still feels like a C tier transformation.
And it can be a C that climbs.
yes.
C for climbs.
Next is Ganondorf. It's another hair focused one.
Yeah.
This
and
works
eyebrows.
for me though.
Yeah, it works for me too. And I think it's the sideburns.
The sideburns are nice. I like how stuck back it is. It's like he's in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, it looks like a Paul Giamatti character to me.
He does. I'm Kirby. That's more Richard Kind. What's Giamatti?
I mean, it's a fine line between the two.
Zelda. I'm so frustrated. I gotta get Zelda. I don't know what that is. Is that Giamatti?
It was pretty close.
Okay.
What's your go-to? Like, who are you trying? What character are you trying to channel when you do a Giamatti?
Well, I think everybody's is from when he was in Big Fat Liar, right?
Of course, I'm thinking of him blue.
Yeah, against Amanda Bynes and
Muniz.
Yeah, Frankie Muniz. I think it's a B tier for me.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the B.
It makes me laugh, like the wind tunnel thing, like the hair, like getting like thrown back.
I could be persuaded to hear an A argument, but I'm very comfortable with B.
Here's why I think it falls short of A. One of the like defining qualities of Ganondorf in like the head area is that nose, right? Kirby got no nose. Not that I want to see a nose on Kirby, but I feel like it's still missing something.
I don't want to see a nose on Kirby.
No, and neither do I.
Thinking about it, and I don't like it.
Here's why I like it a lot is I think it's really funny the way that the hairline starts like halfway on top of Kirby's head. So it's almost like he's like thinning, but then there's like the little like headpiece in between that and these really prominent eyebrows that connect to the sideburns that have big space where like human ears should go. But since Kirby doesn't have those ears, there's still the pink space, but the ears are just so much lower. I think it's like, I think it's so funny.
That is pretty compelling. All right, A tier it is.
Good.
All right, which brings us to Mewtwo Kirby.
I don't like this.
I gotta say, Mewtwo, an upsetting design to begin with.
This one's really funny to me because it has Kirby kind of gets like Mewtwo's tail, but it's small, so it looks like this like prehensile tail thing going on. It's kind of gross. Although it looks like you could like pick Kirby up by him and like shake him around.
And he's got ears too, but they're not the same. They're not. The Jigglypuff ears feel like they're attractive or like make sense on his frame. These look like strange growths coming out of him.
Yeah, it's like a skin tag.
This is an F.
All right.
This is upsetting.
We are introducing the F and putting it on the garbage. F tier, Mewtwo. Next up is Roy.
I like this a lot.
I like Roy a lot too because this definitely looks like he's in Def Leppard or something like that.
Yeah, it's a headband and it's like a thick blue headband.
Yeah, and then like a thick mane of red layered hair.
Yeah,
and he's got a cool sword. I know earlier I said I was uncomfortable with viewing Kirby as an object or a person of desire.
You backpedaling?
Very attracted to Roy Kirby. And I'm very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And, and we kind of downplayed just hair, but hair plus headband plus the type of hair it is, like this is the Roy Kirby. This is the kind of Kirby your mom would warn you against hanging out with.
Yeah.
But you're going to do it anyway.
You're going to do it anyways because he's so cool.
He's cool.
The ability that he gets to is also very compelling. It's like a swing over the head with the sword, and it deals a lot of damage. And it's a good one. I think this may be an A.
It's an A for me, pretty easily.
All right, Roy Kirby is going in the A category. Next is the echo of Roy, Crom. Another blue wig.
I like this blue wig more
than the previous blue wig.
Is it blue or is it like?
Oh, it's maybe kind of
black,
gray.
maybe.
Yeah,
it's a navy.
I
like it. Tells a story. It tells a dark story.
This is emo. This is like Spider-Man 3.
It is
Kirby.
It's kind of fun. I'm not mad at this.
It's a different kind of fun from like because we ended up putting Roy in A. I don't know that I would put Crom in A, but I put it in B.
I put it in B.
All right. Crom goes in B. Next up is the Mr. Game & Watch Kirby.
This feels offensive.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like it's blackface Kirby.
Yeah.
Um.
Is that bad to say? Should I not say that?
No, we can acknowledge it that's a thing that it evokes immediately. It's the eyes that do it, right? Like if he
Yeah.
didn't have the eyes and if it was just like the like solid black outline of Kirby, it would be different.
It is true to Mr. Game & Watch.
But
Yes.
Mr. Game & Watch, like Patrick just said, doesn't have...
Doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, it's just an outline.
The thing that so this may be one that we have to just like disqualify on. Like there are elements of it that I like, but I think you're right in that like it almost summons the idea of Kirby blackface.
Mhm.
I do like that when you use the move, it is animated in the same way that the Game & Watch is, where it's just like 2 frames of animation, which is very fun and very compelling. But I think this is one we just gotta like toss into the void.
So joining Kirby, and what's the other
Lucina.
one? Lucina.
Yeah.
Things we just can't
Too
deal
cursed.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Meta Knight Kirby.
with. I'm upset. Why isn't it just his whole body? Why is it just a front mask and then we see the rest of Kirby's body?
And he has like 2 tiny little wings, but why make them tiny?
I'm upset. This is such a gimme.
Yeah. It should be the mask needs to be bigger. We shouldn't see like a chin
Yeah,
of Kirby.
I'm upset. Kirby, you should know better. Is Kirby mad at Meta Knight? Is this like a low-key serve?
Oh. That he
Where he's like, ooh, look
Ooh,
at
I'm
me.
Meta
I'm
Knight."
Meta Knight. My mask doesn't fit right, and I have these itty bitty baby wings.
Yeah, everything about it is too small.
If it's that, I'm willing to
An S tier.
No, but I don't like it.
Is it a diss? I don't know.
I think the fact that we can't tell if it's a diss means that this is a miss.
If
It's
we
a
can't
diss
tell
miss.
it's a diss, honey, it's a miss.
All right, which means we're putting this in the
I'd say D.
I think D
All
tier.
right, sorry, Meta Knight Kirby. Next up is Pit Kirby.
I like the look of like Greek mythology evoking Kirby.
Yeah, so he's got the wings, right? Tiny little wings, and
The little gold laurels.
yeah,
which
little
I like.
gold
That's pretty
laurels.
nice.
But I gotta say, this is one that's hard to clock when you're playing the game.
Yeah.
It kind of has the Meta Knight problem where you're like, why are the wings tiny?
Why always
What's
so
the
tiny?
benefit?
Why always so tiny? And I get Kirby's a little guy,
Yeah.
so he can't wear anything too big.
But it's not like the wings are a hat. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, why are we downsizing the wings? Why
Yeah.
not give Kirby full wings?
And speaking of head stuff, when I think Pit, not unlike Martha, I think luscious locks of hair.
yeah.
No hair.
No hair.
No
here,
hair here.
which makes
How come, Mr. Kirby?
the laurel hits different with no hair, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not mad at the way it hits.
But does it hit like Pit?
I don't know if it hit. I don't know if it hit like Pit.
I like the
And so I must
like
have quit.
I like
let's bring the dark Pit into this as well. 'Cause
Okay,
it's
yeah,
identical, but
yeah.
the wings are black. I don't know. I feel like both of these are like C or D tier for me.
For some reason, Dark Pit is an improvement for me.
I think it is for me. I agree with you, Greg, and it's because the wings, even though they're tiny, are at least easier to see because they are darker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're more of a statement of intent.
But I feel like either way, like neither one of them is much of a statement.
Not yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like Pit is C, Dark Pit on the line of B, but not quite.
I feel like it just ends up being a high C.
I feel like
Yeah, C
for me,
plus.
I feel like it's D and C. Like I would
Okay,
put
I'm
I would
comfortable
put
with
Pit
that.
in D
All right.
and Dark Pit in C.
Okay. All right, moving on the list. Next up is Zero Suit Samus Kirby.
This is very funny.
It's just a ponytail.
It's
Like
an
a
up,
top knot.
It's an
Yeah,
up.
top
It's
knot. Yeah.
Ariana Grande.
It is Ariana Grande Kirby.
It's I Dream of Jeannie.
Right.
I like it.
It doesn't scream zero
Sure
Zero
doesn't.
Suit
Sure
Samus.
doesn't.
There's no indication of the titular Zero suit.
No.
No, not even a hint
It's
of
like
blue.
birthday suit Samus.
But the top knot is
Is
very
very
fun.
Very
funny.
funny.
I love the idea of like Kirby like coming out of popping out of the water like in the Little Mermaid and just like tossing that.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like Kirby would have a lot of fun if he had long hair.
I think he would.
Yep.
This Kirby, like, this is the Kirby you call when you need to, like, gossip about someone.
Yeah.
Yes.
She'll be like, I'm there. Where's the nearest Starbucks? I'm there. And I'm like, thank you, Zero Suit Samus Kirby.
Zero Suit Samus Kirby is the one who's always like, I hate drama, but is the drama.
Yes,
she
that's
is
right.
the drama,
And
and we love
brings
her
the most
for
of it. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And she's dating Ness Kirby.
Yes.
And they're toxic.
They're awful. She's
But
always
you get the
complaining
best
about
stories.
always complaining about Ness Nerby.
Ness Nerby.
That's nervy. So what do you think, B?
I
hear
truthfully am
yeah.
leaning towards A.
No, wow. I was going to say I was leaning C+.
Okay, then it means B.
Okay. Right in the middle.
Next up is Wario Kirby. Interesting here. I tested it. It doesn't matter whether you're fighting a Wario that is wearing the sort of like explorer safari kind of gear or like the sort of classic Wario. He always gets the like helmet and goggles.
And because of that, it's a miss for me.
I totally agree. This does not you have to really squint to be like, oh
see
yeah,
that
there's
W.
a W, but it does not come across as Wario to me. It's more like, is this like Captain Toad? What is happening here?
Yeah.
Again, we're missing a vest.
Or give look, I know he doesn't have a nose, but give Wario Kirby a mustache.
I mean, honestly, or the mustache and the nose. Like this is a place where
this
it
is
works.
one where the nose plays.
Yeah.
To quote Matt Damon in Ocean's 13, the nose plays.
So what do we think? C?
No, I think
D.
it's a D tier
It's
for
a
me.
D, unfortunately.
There is nothing Wario about this.
All right. Next up after Wario is Snake.
It's a hard A for me.
Hard. This is like
This is camp.
Cast of Predator.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, like
This is drag. This is this Kirby in male drag.
yeah.
This is
The drag
easy,
king
it's an easy
for
A.
sure. Yeah.
Really strong. Really performative masculinity.
Yes.
It's playful, but it's pointed. Really strong.
Which is also very much the MO of Metal Gear
Yep.
and Solid Snake in general. Like it's Kirby doing the thing that the franchise does. Like it's an absolute home run. Next up is Ike Kirby, another Fire Emblem dork, and
wig.
another blue
Another
wig.
bad wig.
Bad wig.
Yep.
Cut too harshly.
Yes,
It's a bowl cut.
I don't think I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
uninspiring.
really feel anything about it, which I think is negative.
C? D?
I kind of go with
I think D.
Yeah.
I think D. I mean, just looking at the C's, at least have some elements that we like to them.
Right. We either like there are some C's where we're like we disagree on them.
Mhm.
I like none of us have anything to say.
Yeah, about the Ike. Next up is the Squirtle Kirby. This one feels like a huge miss to me.
Get it.
Yeah, I
basically,
get it conceptually.
Basically, he's wearing like a hat that is a turtle shell.
And he's got a bluish tail.
Yeah,
There
he
is-
does.
Yeah,
he does have
yes.
he does have the Squirtle tail.
Yeah, but
It just doesn't feel like enough.
no.
I get that the color of the Squirtle's shell is that brown, but we need that blue.
We need blue.
We need
and
the
we need
blue
it on
needs-
his face somewhere.
It needs to be prominent. Yeah. Although I gotta say, sympathetic to including the Pokemon trainer, one character, and then you got to make 3 different copy abilities for Kirby. It's a pain in the butt. Also, the move that the Squirtle that he copies from the Squirtle is like it's like an arcing like spittle kind of thing. It's not good. It's not fun. I feel like this is an F.
What? Sorry. What else do we have an F?
Mewtwo.
Oh man,
This isn't as viscerally horrifying to me as
Yeah.
Mewtwo was.
Mewtwo looks like Kirby got into the fly machine with
And Kirby's begging for death.
Yeah, but it's not so bad that we have to expel it to the void.
No, it's a D.
Yeah, because Squirtle, you're like, you see somebody wearing that and you're like, wow, cool, like leather beanie, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like bad. It's just weird.
It's just confusing. Speaking of not bad but confusing, Ivysaur is
This
next.
is strange.
So it's like
This
the
is
top of the
strange.
Ivysaur's head is on the top of Kirby's head, and he has like the flower that blooms on the back of the Ivysaur.
In this case, though, it's the opposite of the wings problem. The flower and the leaves are too big.
It's too much.
I also think the hat reads more like almost like cat-like to me.
Yeah, with the ears.
Because of the ears.
Yeah.
Looking at it now, it looks like the planet Earth to me.
Oh, with like the little spot on there being like,
that's,
oh,
continent?
sure.
that's South America or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think this one works. And we're about to get to the Charizard too, and I don't really think that one works either.
I mean, Pokemon
Pokemon are tough.
Clearly a
I'll
problem.
say Charizard works the most
Yeah.
of these three.
Yeah, I'll agree with
This
that.
is another one where he looks like a little like devil or something. You know, like at the end of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disneyland when you go to hell and there's like the little like demons,
Yeah.
you know, that are laughing at you. That's what it feels like.
You're talking about the Charizard at this point?
Yeah, sorry, the Charizard.
Let's do something with the Ivysaur first, because it feels like it's a mess.
Yeah, this is a
I think it's
a D or an F, honestly.
I think it's an F.
I wouldn't go as far as an F because, again, and maybe this is just a taste thing, Mewtwo Kirby made me like spiritually uncomfortable.
Right, but that can't be the only reason that something fails.
Why not? Just kidding. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a total mess.
Yeah, and I think that's my problem with it.
Okay.
I think F.
Okay.
All right. Charizard.
Maybe I'm just Stockholm syndromed from the Pokemon misses. This one kind of really works for me.
I don't hate it. It definitely reads as dragon.
Yeah, and I like the color. For me, the tiny wings are cute here.
Well, they actually read as like tiny wings on a hat. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
That like this feels like Pokemon merch to me.
Yeah, I feel like this is a successful execution of the theme park aesthetic, like theme park merchandise aesthetic that we've called out a couple of times.
I'd go so far as B.
I was gonna say either C or B. Mark, what do you think?
I'm fine with B.
Next up is Diddy Kong Kirby.
This is a miss for me. I like that it's a little Nintendo hat, accurate to Diddy Kong,
Right.
but does not in any way make me think, oh yeah, that's Diddy Kong.
I love this one. I love this one.
But I feel like it's more like Steven Spielberg. He's got his like baseball cap on.
Yeah,
cap
he's
on.
framing up the
He's
shot.
framing. Yep.
Okay, hearing you talk about it though, what I like about this is that Kirby wearing a Nintendo baseball cap, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Representing Diddy Kong though, where's his backpack? Where's an indication? Does he wear a backpack? Am I making that up?
I don't know.
I mean, he does have like the.
He has something on his back.
He's got like the rocket.
The rockets.
Jetpack.
Yeah.
It's like a barrel jetpack.
Here's what I think would put this into a much higher tier.
Don't say tail.
Is it not necessarily the tail? Is if it had the fursuit of Donkey Kong? Why not do both? Why not do the fursuit of Donkey Kong but with a hat?
It does seem like they're treating the Kong family inconsistently in the copy abilities.
I think intellectually you are both right, but I am picturing it and I don't care for it.
Well, we don't care. I mean, myself excluded. We don't care for Donkey Kong in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was C tier. Look, I'm not mad at the hat. I just don't think it's a. I actually think Kirby looks super cute because it's like the same red as his shoes, and again, giving off like Spielberg in the '80s vibes.
It's a
to
good
me.
fit.
But I feel like it fails as a representation of Diddy Kong. But just like I would put it in the C tier. I think.
The thing where it does, where like the actual move that he uses may come in to inform this a little bit. He does the peanut gun thing, so like he pulls out the gun that looks like it is at home in the Donkey Kong Country series. So like when he's active, he does look more like Diddy Kong.
Yeah, I personally have always had trouble with the peanut gun.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm not sure if it's fair to blame Kirby for that. He's just doing his job. He's just copying. Yeah, I'm comfortable with like a C+.
All right. Putting it in the C tier. Next up is Lucas.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's very campy.
Yeah, it succeeds in a way that the Ness one fails.
It's just this huge yellow like pompadour updo type thing. We've knocked, wigs before, but this is such a good execution of it.
I feel like he's really leaning into a touch of satire. I feel like he's roasting Lucas a little, but in like a fun, kind of like Snake, in a very fun, inviting way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but unlike Snake though, there's no like societal statement behind it, right? Like he's just
Well,
He's just razzing Lucas a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. There's something about the kind of pompousness of the white blonde male that I see in this performance. I don't know.
So what do we think? B for Lucas?
Huh.
I kind of like it more than that. I don't know why, because it's just simple.
Yeah.
But
B plus, A minus.
yeah, I think it straddles that line.
All right, it's going in A.
Yeah, let's do it.
Next up is Sonic Kirby.
This feels like this is one where I don't know that I have a good solution for it. It reads more Sonic than like the Yoshi hat does, but I think it has the same problem.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, and it's tough because like I couldn't tell you how to fix it necessarily.
I think again it's the eyes for me.
Well, it's an attitude problem, right? Like the Kirby attitude and the Sonic attitude are incompatible. They cannot exist in the same being at the same time.
Generally, yeah.
And so like this is just it's a paradox to look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, but you could make a same argument about Solid Snake, and yet Kirby knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So like you can perform that. You can know I'm not a cool, rude dude with an attitude, but I'm
pretending
can play
to
it
be
for effects. And he's not giving me anything here. And like the ears are weird.
This is another one where I think it would benefit, and they feel like hesitant to do it, but I feel like it would benefit from more like changing of Kirby's coloring in general.
Yeah.
Like this is another one where like, why not give him
the shoes?
Give him the shoes. Like
they should really give him the shoes.
Why not give him the same sort of like fursuit that Donkey Kong has?
Yeah,
right? Like
a blue fursuit would play.
Yeah. It might even work better here because Kirby has such like Sonic has such more like iconic like hair. Like it's so close to being there, but it just fails because there's nothing else that changes.
I think it's a D tier.
Yeah. And that's a bummer.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer because like Sonic cosplay,
it should be so good.
It should be so good. Next up is King DDD Kirby. Also just kind of a hat.
It's cute.
Why not give him the robe?
Yeah. Or again, the eyes, the beak.
Yeah, something there.
It's cute.
When the ability that he copies from King DDD,
big hammer?
No, it is still to suck bad guys into his mouth and then spit them out as stars.
Oh. Yeah.
Which makes it less good to me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think C or D for me on this one.
Yeah. I think it's a C.
I'm okay with C.
Moving on to number 40. We're halfway through it, guys.
Wow.
Olimar.
This is pretty fun.
I love this one.
This is pretty good.
He has Olimar's nose, which
It's pretty cute.
yeah.
Which we've been calling out for noses.
Exactly.
Deploy some noses.
Yeah, I mean, put Olimar's nose with a W mustache, and it's Wario. It's like, why were you so hesitant to do it before? But I like also that Kirby and Olimar already share a lot of similarities as far as like lack of hair and head shape. And so I think it just works to have the little like light bulb thing on top of Kirby, give him the nose, very reminiscent. I think it's a good representation.
I'll say this though, when I first look at this, I think he's a bomb.
Yeah, like that's like the antenna is a fuse.
I don't know if that is demerits or if that adds a certain danger to the performance.
I think also adding danger to the performance is that he's throwing Pikmin around.
That's true, he is. I wish the Pikmin were in some way Kirby painted.
Oh, if they were all like pink?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's too much.
Or if they're all just like little Waddle Dees now.
This one feels like a B to me.
I like it. I like this
I like
one.
it. Yeah, it's a B for me. I'll take a B.
Next up is Lucario.
Darn it, Pokemon. You can just not. For me, you just can't win. None of this works.
I like it as a hat. I just like the hat.
Yeah, well, if you remove the ears, it's basically like Ness again. It's just like he's wearing like a baseball
brimless
cap.
hat.
Yeah. Yeah, and the ears are pretty weird.
I think this is it. Either a D. I think it's a D.
I think it's a D. I don't think it fails. I just think they're just not that fun.
Yeah.
Although it does effectively show that he's turned into Lucario, right? Like I think it's easy to clock at a glance. Still like a D. Next up is Rob.
This is very fun for me.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's basically just Rob's eyes are like pasted onto Kirby, and then he's got a little red light on top of his head.
He looks like he is watching a 3D movie and sort
Yes.
of like, oh. And I think that's really something. And again, I think that's a nice little piece of satire on Rob's representation of 80s retrofuturism, where Kirby's like, oh, wow, it's so fancy.
Ooh, I'm a little robot.
Yeah.
Who's your buddy?
What are those toys that you would like
Like a viewfinder?
like a
Viewmaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Viewmaster. It's like a 3D movie like where and he just got an idea while I was watching it. I like it.
His move in this is basically Cyclops' optic blast,
That's pretty fun.
which I mean, yeah, I think this one just works.
Yeah, it's an A for me.
It's an A for me as well. Mark?
Yeah, I love it.
Next up is Toon Link Kirby.
Yeah, it's just another green hat, huh?
Loses the hair from Young Link.
Mm-hmm. There's
Yeah.
nothing even particularly toony about it.
No, they should really like cell shade the whole Kirby.
Yeah,
in
why
this.
not?
This one, honestly, even though it's almost identical to like the adult Link, feels like a failure in that it doesn't capture the tune at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they transform Kirby for Mr. Game & Watch in a way we did not like particularly, but why not, like you were saying, Patrick, make all of Toon Link Kirby like super stylized?
Cell shaded Kirby would be really cool to see.
Yeah. I wanted to give this one an F. I think it fails the assignment.
It just feels like a surprising failure of imagination.
Yeah, but it fails half of it. As Link, it's there. So I'd go D.
We already have two Links.
Yeah, I lean towards F as well.
Wow. Harsh graders.
Wolf Kirby.
This is pretty.
He's got an eye patch.
This is pretty rad.
He's got an
This
eye
one
patch.
I
He's
love.
got an eye patch.
He's
pretty
like
rad.
he's like the villain in Waterworld.
Yeah.
There are some design elements of this that feel askew. Some of it maybe is by design, but some of it bumps me.
Is it that like the strap on the eye patch just sort of like disappears?
No,
That
not
it-
necessarily.
that
No,
it's not
I'm okay
functional?
with that.
Okay.
The shape of it doesn't feel congruous to the rest of Kirby's shape. The ears feel a little jagged or tilted. The mohawk feels askance. And I
Yeah.
can't tell if it's all purposeful or not. And I think that's the issue for me.
I think this is probably an example of the intention is very good,
Mm-hmm.
but the execution is a little sloppy.
I think that because my initial reaction to it was very positive, and I think it's because like the eye patch is so fun.
It is.
But then you're right that when you actually like look at the details, it doesn't really hold together that well.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess this is true of the fox ears as well, but like they're not connected to anything. They're just like gray ears that sprout out the top of his head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just feels odd.
But I like if you ignore the other pieces, the eye patch itself, I think is the shape of it doesn't really bother me that much. I don't know. I go between B and C.
I do too.
I'm pretty strongly in B.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's put him in B. Next is Villager Kirby.
This is tough.
He's got villager hair.
Yeah. This is tough for me.
Without any this is another one where I think Kirby would benefit from changing the eyes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
To match like the kind of like vacant stare of the villagers.
Yeah.
But
or possibly that weird triangle nose.
Another nose would help.
Because I actually, imagining the nose on this one is upsetting to me. I actually, but the hair, I feel like without anything else, just reads as like medieval peasant.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. That it doesn't. It's so hard, right? When the character itself is like a fill-in for like an avatar that a player would use, like in the actual games themselves. Like to say that there's like a quintessential villager itself is flawed, right? So like it's a weird ask in the first place, and then an even weirder ask to make Kirby copy it. But because of that, I feel like it just isn't. It's a lot of nothing.
I would say D.
I would say
for
D.
me. I think
Yeah.
I just wanted more.
Also, the ability that they copy is pocket. So, like, if someone throws an item at you, you grab it and just like put it in your pocket. Which defensive move, not offensive move, and is also just one that I understand you have to translate the mechanics of Animal Crossing into a fighting game somehow, but that's so weird to me that you're just taking something and putting it in your pocket. Next up is Kirby. Yeah, of course it's a Kirby. It's Mega Man Kirby.
This is pretty good.
He's wearing the helmet. It looks like it is made for him.
I like that they kind of give the helmet a widow's peak.
Yep.
I think that plays for Kirby.
Yeah, I think it does too.
It's pretty good.
Where is the Mega Man Kirby? Oh, there it is.
I feel like we. Is it as good as like Samus?
No.
No, but I think Samus could be S tier. I think when we break out an S tier, that Samus and like Snake,
Captain Falcon,
that like those three are going to go in there like pretty quick. And in fact, let's just do that right now. Mark, can you dig those out and put them on the red thing behind you? I think they're S tier.
All right, so we're putting Samus, Captain Falcon,
and Snake. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm comfortable with that.
But I do think then Mega Man goes in the A tier.
Yeah.
I don't know that I like it that much. I would say a B tier for me.
A minus B plus. It's straddling.
All right, we can put it in the B.
Yeah.
Wii Fit Trainer Kirby.
This is.
I love it.
It's a lot to deal with.
It's like mime Kirby. I don't know that it screams Wii Fit Trainer.
Well, it takes on the distinct coloring of the Wii Fit
And the hair.
And the hair.
But.
And the coloring of the hair. Like, it's a lot of things.
For me, the coloring of Kirby, the coloring of the hair, the style of the hair, this is Castlevania Dracula Kirby. It's not Wii Fit Trainer. This Kirby is like a universal horror monster.
Yeah, this Kirby for sure has to lather on the sunblock before he even thinks about going into battle.
I don't get trainer.
Yeah. I
mean, it's tough because he doesn't have any of like the long limbs of the Wii Fit Trainer. Although potentially a hilarious opportunity to give Kirby really long limbs like an arachnid.
I don't make him look even scarier.
Why do you ask for these things, Mark?
I don't know. I don't think it does a very good. I don't think it is. It doesn't scream Wii Fit Trainer, but I think that the design is really funny.
And it is very funny.
Yeah, so what do we think here? I'm tempted to go C. It's funny, but it's also like unsettling.
Yeah, and for that reason, I would give it a B. I like that it is more a full Kirby transformation.
Yeah, I do respect it for that. What, Greg, you're making a face?
Yeah, I think it's a C. I think it misses the assignment.
All right.
Or transforms the assignment in such an unhinged manner that it's hard for me to cope.
Yeah. I'll back that. I think C is.
Yeah, I won't argue B for it too hard.
Goes. Next up is Rosalina and Luma Kirby. This is another just a crown.
This crown in particular is dinky.
It's dinky, and the picture that we're seeing right now has the Luma in there. That's part of Kirby doing the move. If you're not doing the move, he has no Luma present with him.
It's dinky. It's a D.
Yeah,
D for dinky.
Rosalina is so iconic.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a real missed opportunity.
Yeah,
Rosalina has a lot of personality, and I see none of that here.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Let's put her in D. Yeah?
Yeah, agreed. Elvis or Little Mac Kirby.
This is pretty great for me.
Only you.
Where are the boxing gloves?
Yeah.
Give me boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Would the
you're
boxing gloves cover his little like nub things, or would you have tiny little boxing gloves at the end of his little nubs?
I think they take up the entire nub.
I think so too.
I want to see. I actually don't mind the lack of boxing gloves. I want to see little shorts on Kirby,
Yeah.
just hugging the bottom half of that sphere.
But insofar as engaging with the text as it appears, this is pretty strong for me. I think the hair is very fun. I think the eyebrows are very fun.
Yeah,
I'm having a lot of fun with this.
I laughed when I saw it, and I feel like that's more than I can say for a lot of the ones that we just went through.
So let's put it in.
I want to say B.
Yeah, B's good
Right?
for me.
Yeah.
B it is. I was going to say C, but that is fine.
Okay, this
Next up is the Greninja.
is
another
an auto
Pokemon.
F for me. This is really bad. This is really bad.
Greninja has so much cool,
Yes.
and none of that is translated into this Greninja Kirby. It's just another weird like hat, but it's like a manta ray type thing.
One of the things that we liked about the Sheik transformation so much is that it does the thing where it covers the bottom of Kirby's face.
Yeah.
And Greninja has that too. It's with his like tongue. That is a
Why are you
scarf.
not giving him like that tongue
Why doesn't
scarf?
he have the tongue scarf?
Yeah, it's
And
really
just the flaps are so ugly. This is really bad.
it's bad.
It's a failure. Next, and I would like to address all three of these at the same time.
pretty wild.
Are the
It's pretty
the
wild.
Mii fighters, the Gunner, the Sword
Brawler.
Fighter, and the Brawler, and all it is a headband with the Mii itself just like plastered on the front of it. I feel like we need to eject these into the void. They're hilarious, and I think it's the funniest possible solution to this design problem. But I think it remains a design problem.
I don't know. I actually think it's pretty fun.
I think it's so strange that it wraps around and becomes inspired.
Okay, so
It's like they're playing a game of like Celebrity or something.
Or heads up.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Are they the same transformation? Are we going to count them as the same as all three of them? Because it is.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take two of them and eject them. It doesn't really matter which two.
Yeah. I also imagine that like if Kirby were to in like a New Donk City type situation like land on Earth, that this is how he would attempt to blend
He would
in.
try to disguise himself this way. So what? A?
B.
B?
Yeah, I think B tier.
Mark, can you pick up the
Oh
S's
yes,
that-
all
that
the
fell?
S's have fallen down.
And maybe just like put them on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. Next up is Palutena Kirby. This is another
is-
crazy green wig.
Happening here.
Okay, so I feel like it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It looks like a mess. It looks like Kirby has been using that like makeup shotgun that Homer, like soups up. But
Women will like what I tell them to like.
but this is more what I think Rosalina should have been, where it's like really at least going for it. It is immediately identifiable as Palutena.
Yeah. And if the Rosalina one had a white wig, like I feel like with like the big swoop in front of the eye, it would be more obvious.
Might be confused for Elsa, but I see what you're saying.
But I mean, that's also just a Rosalina.
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
feature
totally.
of Rosalina. So where do we think this one goes? C.
It's a mess,
Right.
but it's a fun mess. I think it's a B.
Wow. I was gonna say it's a D.
I think then we got to average it out to the C.
Yeah.
Is C tier by far the biggest bucket?
No, D is huge.
Interesting.
You guys can't see it because it's sort of under the table here.
I want to. Yeah.
I don't like it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I think it's identifiable as Palutena.
Next up is Pac-Man Kirby.
This makes me upset.
I hate it.
This is a weird.
I want to eject it.
Here's what happens. Here's what it is. They give him eyebrows. They give him the Pac-Man eyebrows, the 3D Pac-Man
I
eyebrows.
like the eyebrows.
Uh-huh.
And I think those work. And then a long cylindrical nose.
It's
It's
a peg.
bad. It's
It's
not
a peg.
good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's upsetting.
It doesn't make me happy.
Also, I gotta say, for all the times that we've asked for noses, this is not an example of one of them.
I
I don't think of a nose when I think of Pac-Man.
I will say, pro-con list, Kirby is life partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you need to hang up a coat, right? Somebody to hold grocery
He's
bags
too-
for a little
he's
bit.
too tiny for a coat hanger.
Yeah, he's either
That's
2.5
true.
feet
That's
or 8 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Feels like a failure to me. I don't think it.
Do you think it reads
conjures
as Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
Do you think it conjures Pac-Man? I kind of think it does. I don't, but I think it has the same sort of like Palutena. I like it less than Palutena, but I think it has the same sort of thing where I look at it and I'm like, I could see how that's Pac-Man.
I can.
I just don't like it.
I can see how it's Pac-Man, but if I were to look at just this with no title, I would think, like, who is this strange man?
Yes. Yes, it reads as strange man.
It's
Who
like
is this upsetting man?
clout close to like a Groucho Marx
Kind of.
glasses type thing going on.
I can't deal with this.
I can't square the nose.
This is another one where should they have given him like spindly Pac-Man arms?
Okay, Pac-Man. Picture the Pac-Man. He's round. He's yellow.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Where's
But
the
like
yellow?
in 3D? Yeah, that's
the
true.
problem is you can play as Yellow Kirby,
Right.
and they're similar shapes.
So are we thinking? Is this F?
It feels like an F to me.
I'm voting eject it.
Oh, we don't even want to
into the
think about
void?
it.
This
This
for
is
the Lucina factor, in that it shows me
it's like
things
body horror
I
type.
can't really reckon it with. And if we can't find the post,
No, we found it.
I think that's appropriate.
Ejected. Pac-Man Kirby has been ejected from the tournament. Robin Kirby. We had another wig.
Bad wig.
Yeah, a bad wig.
This feels more. Now, I have never played the Fire Emblem games where Robin features, but this feels more like Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I
type
definitely
hair.
get that.
Yeah.
Or Anthony Kiedis circa Californication.
Yes. Where they run around that video that's like a video game. The actual like the power that he gets here is pretty compelling because it's the like lightning magic that Robin uses, and there's even a mana meter. Like there's a little
Oh yeah, I remember that.
thing that appears. And I do think that's compelling, but otherwise I think the design here is not super evocative of anything.
Do you think that those like the move set kind of compensates for
I do.
the lack of personality? And so are like C, B? What are you thinking?
Oh, it can't be a B.
It can't be a B. No, I think C is its ceiling, and that's I expect it to be ejected from that class and dumped down to D at some point. But I want to at least start it in C.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine by me.
All right.
This is uninspiring. This one.
Shulk. Shulk has the titular Xenoblade? I don't know.
Uh-oh. We don't know anything about Xenoblade.
It's uninspiring to me.
Yeah.
I do like when I see Kirby with a sword. I know Kirby is dangerous without weapons, but like Kirby with the weapon, it's like everybody run, hit the deck. Kirby's got a sword.
Who gave him that?
Like a kid with running around with scissors.
Yeah.
Right. I think the ability itself is more compelling than the design, because it does the thing where you push B and it accesses like the 5 magic spells.
But
that
that's just like
Shulk can use.
But that's just like Shulk. It's not like anything special happens because it's Kirby. Like the abilities don't change or anything.
Right. No, that is true. I don't know when a copy ability is something that you would actually want to use in the battle. I think that's a little bit more compelling. But I agree that there's nothing on the top of his head. It bothers me.
It's really uninspiring. It's lazy.
Yeah.
It's insulting.
Whoa, D tier, F tier. What are you thinking?
Definitely D at least.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I think it's a failure.
You think an
But,
F?
but what else would you do to look? I'm not arguing for the Shulk transformation. I'm just curious. Give him like an outfit with lots of straps, buckles.
That
Yeah.
You know what you just said? 2 choices. You know what this outfit gives? None.
None.
You're right. You're right.
F.
I mean, honestly, it
doesn't really-
It needs a wig.
It doesn't really feel like they tried.
Yeah.
It just feels like, oh, let's give him the sword.
Yeah.
failure. Next up, Bowser Jr.
This one, The move I think is so funny.
Yeah.
That he like shoots a cannon out of his mouth.
It's like he becomes the clown car
Uh-huh.
and not actually becoming Bowser Jr.
And it's a version of Kirby as body horror that I think he gets away with.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of silly.
I'm going to say A.
No way. No way.
This is B tier to me.
Yeah. I don't like the hat.
It's hard to tell in the photo that we're looking at, but it's
like the top of the clown car.
yeah.
Yeah. So is he being Bowser Jr. or is he being
I
the
think he's just being the
car?
clown car.
So
Well,
isn't that not the assignment?
maybe disqualification, yeah.
Do we eject him?
Well, let's eject it into the void, I think. I think
You're
I think we have
talking
to.
quick.
I am talking quick. It does have to function as a copy for Bowser Jr. and for all of the Koopalings, right? Because those are the like alternate outfits.
Oh, right.
So he necessarily has to copy the clown car.
I guess that's smart.
That also does feel like if you were in a Kirby game, and especially like Forgotten Land or something,
Yeah.
and you tried to suck up the like Bowser Jr., that would be the part that you would transform into.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing noteworthy about Bowser Jr., so you have to transform.
Yeah, it's a stupid, smelly crybaby.
No one likes him.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with this one.
I don't hate it. It's not like eject into the void material for me.
See, it is.
Right in the middle.
Duck Hunt Kirby.
It's a home run for me.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Kirby looks like a dog. I mean,
It's really. He looks like he has a mustache.
Uh-huh.
They make his ears dog ears.
yeah, like
It's-
big floppy
it's
dog
really-
ears.
It's S tier for me. It's really strong.
The move that goes with it too is one of the more interesting Duck Hunt moves, where he kicks a little like can into existence, and then you can push B more to shoot the can. So if the can hits your opponents, it deals damage. If you hit B again while they're near the opponent, they get hit with a little blast. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good one.
And I'm just gonna say it. I think anytime you give Kirby a gun, it's fun.
A?
I think I vote S.
I vote S.
I
tier.
vote S. Okay.
It feels like the transformation that we've wanted for so many of these other characters. Like they give them the snout, and they just go for it.
All right. Next up are let's do Ken and Ryu together because I feel like they probably fall in.
No, I think
You
one
think
is
they're different?
I think
objectively
one
better
is
than
objectively
the other.
better than the other. I'm
And I
curious
wonder if
which
it's the
one.
same.
So I like Ryu a lot more than I like Ken.
I like Ken more than Ryu
because I like these eyebrows.
Yeah.
I really like the big furry caterpillar eyebrows.
Here's my issue with Ryu.
Eugene Levy eyebrows going on.
They're huge. It's true.
Ryu going to start a new motel. Is that the plot of Schitt's Creek? I don't know. What I'm missing from Ryu, I agree that you have the hair and the eyebrows. I need a more prominent red bandana. That is classic Ryu.
It is
It
getting
is
a little obscured by
It
his
is
black hair.
such a miscalculation for me. But Ken, look at that hair.
Here's the thing.
Oh,
I'm gonna cast us back to like an hour ago when I mentioned that one of these transformations makes Kirby say something, and it's the Ryu and Ken. He says Hadouken in his little Kirby voice
very
when
good.
he throws
Pretty good.
these fireballs.
It's very good.
Ken, I mean, look, does Ken have the hair that I wish I had? Of course. Like, am I jealous of Ken Kirby looking at this?
Yes.
100%. Yeah, I don't know. I like both of them. Honestly, I like them both.
I think they're both evocative of the characters.
I strongly disagree. Ken is so evocative of Ken's gorgeous hair. Ryu, where's the bandana? Where's the red bandana? Where's the gi?
See, but the Ken doesn't have the gi either.
Okay, fine. I'll take away the gi.
Take away the
The
gi.
bandana is so...
It's non-negotiable for Greg.
I'm really upset.
So, where would you put these two characters?
Ken is a B.
Well, hold
Ryu
on.
is a D.
Mark, can you
Next.
can you open the picture of the Ryu? Because I think we have a weird angle on the Kirby. You can see the bandana when you've zoomed in.
Oh, wow, really? You can see it when you zoom in really
I'm
close.
giving you everything you
can
want.
see a
Greg. I'm
muted
giving you
red
everything
bandana.
you want.
I do think it seems like they made the choice to have the bandana match Kirby's shoes, where I think the bandana needed
be
to be a
brighter.
different, like
Yeah.
a brighter red. I do agree with that.
Okay. All right. So we think probably Ken stronger than Ryu.
I know. I
I like personally, I don't think that, but I still got my eye on this Donkey Kong battle for later, so
Yeah.
I'm willing to cede this ground.
Ken is a B. I'll give Rue C. I'll give him C.
Wow.
If it was up to you, where would
He'd be a D.
Wow. I think
Such
that's
a miscalculation.
Unwarranted.
Here's the thing. They both say Hadouken. I mean, like, I don't want us to lose sight of it.
Noted.
Thank you. Moving on to number 61. Cloud Kirby.
Yeah, it's really something. It's really something to take in.
Yeah, he's got the whole cloud hair.
This I agree it has the hair, and the hair is good. I will posit that, like, you give the Xenoblade to Shulk, but Cloud,
You don't give him the Buster Sword.
yeah.
Yeah, he really needs a big sword.
I also, maybe I'm a Final Fantasy VII purist, but this hair, too many polygons. I think it needs to be
I agree.
a low poly cloud look. Otherwise, I don't immediately know who we're talking about here.
I agree.
And I could absolutely be wrong, but Cloud in Smash Brothers
Yeah.
is not like a low poly look.
Yeah, you're right. He looks like Advent Children Cloud, like
But-
for sure.
But Kirby's copying, I don't think photographic recreation is what he's trying to do at his best. I think at his best, he is making an exaggerated, campy, satirical point.
Well, here's a question. That's actually a really interesting point that I've
Thank
never
you so
considered
much.
before. Is when Kirby is copying something, is he compelled to present it in a certain way? Like, is it just like,
Are those choices
or
that
is
he's making?
or is Kirby making choices to be like, oh, I inhaled this thing. This is how I am choosing to represent it.
Versus this is how my body's DNA
Exactly,
just
like I
naturally
am
does it.
compelled to do it without. There's no choice.
I've been acting like it's been a choice this whole time. And maybe that's on me. Maybe I need to examine my biases.
I just never thought about it before.
Yeah.
Where do we?
The hair is too busy.
Yeah,
It kind of boinks it for me.
I like the idea that Kirby is constantly, when he's battling, having to like do that thing with his mouth where he's like trying to like blow the bangs out of his
Yeah.
face.
Come on.
Or like, like toss his hair to the side to try to get some of these tendrils out of the way. I don't hate it, but I don't feel like
I think it's a C tier.
I think it captures Cloud. Like, I know what it is by looking at it.
Yeah.
Whether it does it the best it could be done, I don't really have an opinion.
Yeah, C minus. But
In the C pile.
yeah,
Corrin from Fire Emblem.
this is a bit of a mess for me.
Yeah, it's a total mess. And that's part of like, it's almost the Corrin design when Corrin transforms into a dragon, is what's happening here.
Is this trying to do the other? Is this a helmet?
Kinda, yeah.
But there's also
But it's like a dragon helmet.
Is there like is that a piece of Shulk-esque cloth at the bottom?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, or if it's like a like visor almost thing that's dropping down. I really don't know.
It's a mess.
Yeah, a mess. And I think hard to kind of like trace back to a character in the game.
Yeah,
I think it's a failure.
I think it's a failure.
Like F failure or like
Yeah.
D failure.
F failure.
Yeah.
All right.
It fails. Corrin fails. Next up, Bayonetta.
I like Kirby with glasses. I think it's a good look.
I think it's a really good look, and
Beauty mark.
Beauty mark.
Oh yeah. The hair's all right. It's not as strong as I want it to be. Because Bayonetta's hair is very iconic for me.
Yes.
And this doesn't necessarily try to even capture that.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the Bayonetta 2 look, right? The sort of like shorter hair.
I think it's a strong B for me.
Oh yeah, 100% B.
Yeah.
It's
I
a really
can agree with that.
good transformation.
It's good. And
Not the best, but like definitely captures the Bayonetta.
this looks like they would be the lead singer of a very like romantic indie folk band.
Yes.
that you have a crush on, but then you look at their Wikipedia and you're like, oh, never mind. Personal life is bad. Never mind.
Oh, and like their father was a famous singer
Something
too.
like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Next up, the Inkling.
I like this a lot.
Me too.
This also looks more Zelda to me
It
than
does.
the Zelda one.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's the facial expression. Maybe it's like the.
I think it's the bangs.
It's
The
the
bangs
bangs
help.
and the side hair feels very medieval.
Yeah.
And I like what they do to Kirby's eyes, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of make them like too cool for school,
Uh huh.
like the Inklings.
I like this one.
It's neat.
Yeah.
But now that we've touched on it, is it not enough of a representation of the Splatooniverse?
Oh, see, I think the fact that it is a bright orange wig and like changes the color palette of Kirby to the like bright orange color. I don't know. That feels very Splatoony to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's an okay representation. This is another one where I feel like I wish that they would go like a little more nuts with like the shoes, because like
Yeah.
like
They
cool
wear
kicks
cool
are
shoes,
such a
yeah.
big part of Splatoon, and it's like, why not change that up?
Mm-hmm.
The move here pulls out a Splatoon weapon and just like soaks your opponent with ink, which is fun because like the ink mechanic is only otherwise present when you're playing as the Inkling.
This seems like a C to me.
I would have said B.
I would have said B too.
Okay.
Next up, Ridley.
This is pretty bad. This is kind of a miss.
It's as though Kirby took Ridley's skull and just like separated the top from the bottom,
Uh-huh.
discarded the bottom, and put the top on top of his head.
Now, I do like the visual image of Kirby like pulling a Godzilla and just like prying open Ridley's, like skull and jaw and just like separating the two in one like monstrous kaiju-esque move.
But we don't actually see that happen here.
No.
It's true.
Yeah, it just feels like we finally got Ridley in the game and like this is what Ridley Kirby is.
Yeah.
Just doesn't feel like enough.
Can we see like a little tiny little dragon? Just make Kirby a little dragon.
Make Kirby a little
That'd be
dragon.
pretty fun and cute. This is a miss.
I feel like it's D for me.
Yeah.
D it is.
Next up is Simon Kirby.
Hubba hubba.
Oh my gosh, we are just suckers for these luscious 80s locks.
I mean, this is I've finally found out my type. It's Kirby in the 80s.
Yeah, and this screams Kirby in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
The headband thing that he's wearing, that like
Oh, it perfectly captures like the Dungeons and Dragons,
Absolutely.
like high
Yes.
fantasy,
Absolutely.
look, heavy metal look of like the 80s.
yes, heavy metal 100%.
Yeah, I really like it a lot.
Strong A.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong A. Up next is Richter, who's got like a similar kind of thing going on.
Not as successful.
but
Look,
not as
blondes have
successful.
more fun.
hey.
Hey, that's true. Also, his headband is just like a gray, like it's utilitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like the hair is crunchy.
Yeah.
It's not as fluid or something like that.
No, oops. This is
Yes.
more I just feel like it's a little too aerobics instructor
Yeah.
and not giving me the fantasy.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
C or D?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a C minus.
Yeah. I say D.
He's
Okay.
going in the D pile, which again is just enormous. All right. Next up is King K. Rool.
This is a missed opportunity.
This is a missed opportunity. Look, I've said it before. Give Kirby a gun. I like it. Give
And I
Kirby
like how
an
big it
elephant
is.
gon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's enormous and it shoots giant cannonballs.
That's pretty
out of it.
fun.
But that's only when he's doing the move. When he's not doing the move, he just has like a weird slab of alligator skin on his
Yeah,
head
that's
and a crown.
the wrong play.
This is one where I would have liked to see the Donkey Kong thing again. I would like to see
Give him a
full
dragon suit.
Yeah, full
100.
alligator suit, full crocodile suit.
Truly, I think anytime there's a crown, something's wrong. I don't think crowns work on Kirby.
They should.
They should, but they don't.
should.
I don't think
I
we
want to fix that. I want to figure out why.
I think it needs to be a bigger crown. I think that it needs
I
to be a
agree.
crown that goes the circumference of his head, not
Right,
just like a tiny
resting
crown
on
that sits
top.
on the top.
So where are we putting this? D?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a D for me.
Is it a failure?
I don't think so because
Okay.
the gun is good,
Yeah, all right. The gun is good.
which is kind of my viewpoint on everything.
It sounds like
Everything
it's,
is good.
isn't that like, is that from Zod?
That the gun is good.
Hi.
Kneel before Charlton Heston. Is that too political?
He's dead now.
That's true.
Isabel Kirby is next.
This feels like going for those same highs as Zero Suit's
Yes.
Samus Kirby,
Doesn't reach him.
but doesn't reach them. It's the like top tuft of hair is just not as fun, and maybe because it's not as long.
Yeah.
It's also because it is also cartoony to the point where it sort of,
Hat on a hat.
well, no, like it obfuscates what it is. Like I look at it and I only know that it's hair because I know that it's hair.
Right? Is it like, is this a chimney? Like, is there
Right. Are we
smoke
pushing
coming out of it?
Play-Doh out of the
Looks
top
like a
of Kirby's
whale or
head?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a miss. I think Isabel is a cute little dog, and like this doesn't read as cute little dog to me at all.
I would put it in D, I think.
Yeah, me too.
All right. I would have failed it, but put it in D. The Incineroar.
This is pretty strong.
This is the one Pokemon so far I think I actually like. And I like that there's something funny about like Incineroar's like mustache
Mhm.
and like eyes and everything
Well,
being in there.
Yeah, and like that its eyes are like closed.
Uh-huh.
Like this is it feels like he made an Incineroar rug and just like chopped the head off and put it on instead. And there's the like sort of photorealism of the fur is very funny to me as well. I don't know, I think
I think it's a B.
I
think
go
it's a
B.
B.
Mhm.
Next up is the Piranha Plant Kirby.
So
No, go ahead.
Piranha Plant Kirby is upsetting to me in the way that, oh, you could have done this for other things. You just chose not to.
That
Because
he's wearing like a full suit of
yeah,
Mhm.
I think I think it would be really funny if he was wearing the suit and was also inside like a little
a little
pipe.
pot. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He should have been.
but I like that they like really went for it, and that it's almost like the Piranha Plant has like eaten Kirby a little bit.
Yeah. There's something about that on paper that really works, but in execution, the message is muddled to me.
Can I take a stab at why it feels that way?
Please.
To me, this looks like Kirby in his pajamas because he's wearing like a onesie that's like red and white polka dot. And then there are like the Piranha Plant lips and teeth. I don't know. It feels like two things. It doesn't feel like the Piranha Plant necessarily.
So I think that that's a kind of like a virtue of it. Like I think you're right that it does look like cute little pajamas, which seems right for Kirby, where that is like some of the harder edge stuff that we've seen. We've been like, oh no, thank you, hard pass. But I think that this has like the cuddly feel that I want from Kirby.
You know what it misses? Green.
Yes.
I agree.
This feels like a Bowser problem, where
Yeah.
without that
Yeah.
green, it is not like easily, clearly identifiable. Again, here's another one. Just change the color of his shoes.
Make him green.
Or his little flippers. Because we can see his hands.
Yeah.
Like they could be little leaves.
Yeah. It's a half measure.
Yeah, so for that, it's a C.
I think it's a C.
Next up is Joker Kirby.
This is a hard yes for me. This really works for me. This is very strong.
This is very strong. So he's got the wig, he's got the Joker mask, and here's the other thing: his move is like using these guns. Again, give Kirby a gun. We like it every time. But he does the Joker poses, so it's never just like he shoots the gun. It's like he does like a little. He just poses as he shoots, and every time it's a different pose.
He's all of a sudden stylized in this kind of hard JRPG
Yes.
in the way that, again, it hits that sweet spot I love of Kirby is like being camp.
And
He's
his eyes
satirizing.
change. His eyes
They
change.
Yep.
transform the eyes, and this like look. I know it's out of Persona 5, but it reminds me so much of Phantom of the Paradise.
Yes.
Which is
love that
always a huge plus for me. So I love this one.
I think A.
Yeah.
All right, next is Hero Kirby, which, well, his B move does let you like cast the fireball spell, but I don't know. I think the design of this thing doesn't totally work. It's just the hero headband.
It's really close.
And a sword.
I like that they gave him both instead of just like the headband or the sword.
Yeah.
But I agree that there's nothing in it that particularly screams Dragon Quest to me specifically.
It's tough too, right? Because they give this character is like 4 different characters, right? So like the haircut of the hero in Dragon Quest XI is so specific that like split right down the middle, like kind of waterfall on either side. I almost feel like I would want to see that on Kirby.
Yeah, I agree. This is a probably C for me. I don't think it's a complete failure.
Yeah, it's a C.
Yeah.
Up next is Banjo and Kazooie Kirby. This one, it's hard to see.
It's baffling.
Is it just Kazooie on his back?
So yeah, he just gets the backpack with Kazooie.
So there's no representation of Banjo at all.
Unless you want to count the backpack as being...
But in Duck Hunt Dog, we got another like 2 character.
Right.
We got the snout. So do you like the dog snout? So do you think that they
But we don't get any of the duck.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Do you think that, since for Duck Hunt Dog, since they gave us the snout, but nothing representing the duck, that they're doing the opposite for Banjo and Kazooie? Not that I think that is just because there's the math means that it makes sense. But do you think that was like the choice?
If that was I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
No bear representation at all. Kirby is a cute little bear.
Yeah.
It's a home run. I'm so disappointed.
Give him little ears. Give him blue shorts.
Mm-hmm. And then for Kazooie to just be the character Kazooie, this is an F. I'm so insulted. Don't waste my time, Kirby.
All right, Banjo and Kazooie. Kirby,
They're
an F.
They're adamant against giving Kirby pants, but I do think it would benefit a lot of these.
Next up is Terry Bogard Kirby.
This is fun.
This one
rules.
This is fun.
Love.
Yeah.
I love that he has little gloves on his little like flipper things. It can be done. This is another one like Piranha Plant where it's like clearly it could be done.
Or like Little Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really fun. And again,
And the Fatal Fury hat.
Uh-huh.
and he's playing.
Yes.
I don't actually think he's going to beat me up, but I'm having fun like watching him.
This is an S tier for me. I love this one.
Yeah,
I can be persuaded.
I agree with that.
I'm persuaded.
Next up is Byleth. This is a mess.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just a big crazy wig.
The wig kind of plays for me. I think it frames Kirby's head nicely.
It does.
Kirby's head.
Yeah. Excuse me, his head and body.
I mean, always a tough order when you're trying to like distinguish Fire Emblem characters from each other.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that it's the ability is a bow and arrow, and normally it's just like a regular bow and arrow. If you charge it up, it becomes the sort of like legendary bow and arrow from the game.
I just feel like there's nothing here that particularly distinguishes this Byleth wig from any of the other Fire Emblem character wigs. Like if you line them all up, I don't know that I could particularly point out and be like, oh, that's clearly Byleth.
Except for Roy's kind of the only real outstanding one. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a D for me.
I think I would say C.
yeah, I'd go C.
Okay, it goes in C. Next up is Min Min.
This is pretty cute.
This is awesome.
It's a wig. It's a hat.
I love these harsh bangs on Kirby.
Kirby's giving me like Scandinavian.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's an A for me.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
All right. Next up, Minecraft Kirby.
Wow, S tier.
Yeah.
I love this one.
He becomes a cube. He becomes a cube, and his arms and feet also become cubes, which means they can change his feet and his hands.
And they do some of this like, and maybe it's just because of the harshness of the angles, but he gets some of this like shading, like shadows that I wish we got from Toon Link.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's an S.
Wow, really strong.
Next up, Sephiroth Kirby.
This is fun.
This one I feel like is giving more of that low polygon hair
Yep.
Yeah.
that you guys were
Yep.
looking for
Yep.
from
Yep.
Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun, and it especially works for that because it's a villain, and I think it's funner to kind of like satirize the villain.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would say A, not S tier
No,
for me.
no,
but
I agree. A.
Yeah, A, possibly even B.
Yeah.
yeah, put him
I
up
like
against
it.
like, okay, so looking at this versus Min Min, which is also an A. Do you think that they capture like
Gosh.
the fun equally?
I do, for different reasons.
I think it's a real good representation of Sephiroth.
Okay, let's put him in A.
I think it's fun.
Next up is Pyra and Mithra.
I
from
like
Xenoblade
these quite a
Chronicles 2.
bit.
I am just always a sucker when like Kirby's hair envelops his entire body.
Mhm.
That's a good length on Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby looks great. This should be her look.
Yeah. Kirby looks like a couple of like long-haired guinea pigs here, you know, like running around. You just want to
yes.
watch TV, have Kirby in your lap, and like brush its hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it's as good as the two that we just crowned A's, right? Or the yeah. I think it's a B.
I actually kind of look.
You like it more?
Not more.
Okay.
I think it is also A. I think Mithra and Pyra Kirby just look like two women who are in Vegas, just broke up with their boyfriends, out to have some fun.
What you just described is both why I really like it and both why it has to be a B for me. Because it doesn't hint at the game to me. They just look good. They just have good haircuts.
Well, they do have
the
this like
thing.
fantasy low
We don't know what this thing is called.
low tiara.
Low
Low
tiara.
tiara.
Yep.
Low T, Ara. Yeah, I mean, I think I also put it in a B.
B plus.
Okay. Yeah. B is behind me.
Up next is Kazuya.
This is pretty fun.
Yeah, I like the different colored eyes on the
Mhm.
Kirby. I like
Yeah.
that there's a transformation within this
And
transformation.
And honestly, they're both strong.
They're both so good, and like little like vampire Kirby
Yeah.
is forever and ever. This is I just love this little thing.
Strong.
A?
Yeah. At least.
Kazuya Kirby
'Cause it's like-
is an A.
Trying so hard to be spooky,
Mhm.
but just being so darn cute.
And then that we've come to our last one of these. Sora Kirby.
This just
Just a wig.
feels like
This is what I want Cloud's hair to look like.
really.
kind
See,
of.
this feels like bargain basement Cloud to me. It's like in third grade when I had a Batman costume, but it like was just like foam, so the ears were floppy. But then
And it
my
was a
friend had
smock
like
that
a
had
real
Batman on it.
Exactly, had like a real like plastic one, so the ears were really like strong. This is how I feel like Sora and Cloud.
The hair on the Sora Kirby looks plastic to me. Like it looks like
Yeah.
there's a reflective quality to it.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. I think it's bad.
It's a D.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
That feels
Very
right
uninspired.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen. We have come to a crossroads here because we have sorted all of these Kirby transformations into unimpeachable tiers. Absolutely 100% accurate. We have been talking for 2 hours.
Huh.
What happens now? Do we rank these as we set out to do from the beginning? Or do we immediately jettison the bottom half of these?
Yeah, I think we look at S and rank those.
Maybe A and S, and we just rank those?
Sure.
Let's maybe go back through just quickly through the B tier, C and B tier quickly to see if there's anything we want to rescue and then rank those together. Does that sound fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the C tier. I'm just going to read through the C tier, and if there's anything in there that catches your attention, and
I mean,
we
I'm
need to have a
cracking my
conversation
knuckles.
about it.
I know there's at least one baby in there that I'm.
What do we shout rescue? What do we
Yes,
do?
yeah, we shout rescue, and if anyone says rescue, unless they are shouted down by the other
Oh, there's
two,
a shout down.
There's a
option?
shout down,
What do you
yeah.
shout down? What do you say?
shout down.
Okay, and does shout down win?
No, if both other people shout it down, then
Oh,
yes.
so it's a 2 against 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it has to be.
I understand the rules.
And this is just to be included in the final ranking.
Mm-hmm.
It's not elevated to S tier or whatever. Bowser Kirby ejected. Link Kirby Ejected. Donkey Kong Kirby.
Rescue.
Shout down.
I'm not going to shout it down.
In your face, Greg Smith.
I thought we were still friends.
We are
at the end.
After I see.
We don't have to be friends all the way through. Zelda Kirby. Ejected. Dark Pit. Young Link. Fox McCloud. Diddy Kong.
Rescue.
Rescuing Diddy Kong.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, no shutdowns. Marth. Peach. Piranha Plant. Robin. King DDD. Wii Fit Trainer. Rescue. Wii Fit Trainer moves on. Palutena Kirby. Byleth. Bowser Jr. Ryu. Oh, Ryu. Okay, he's gone. Cloud. And the Hero. Okay, so we rescued Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and the Wii Fit Trainer. Now from the B tier,
Is this still Rescue Shotdown?
it's still. I think this is still Rescue Showdown,
Okay,
right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And then we will everything that we've rescued will go up against the A's and the S's, and that'll be our final ranking.
Great.
Mario,
Rescue.
Pikachu, Luigi, Crom. Crom was B tier.
We
Okay.
made some wild decisions. there.
Unimpeachable.
Yeah.
Olimar, Rescue. Zero Suit Samus.
Hard Rescue.
Hard Rescue.
Oh, yeah. That is crazy to me
Yeah.
that we wouldn't include it in the final.
Wolf Kirby. Oh, everyone made a face, but no one's claiming it. Charizard Kirby.
Rescue.
Shout down.
Shout down.
Oh, the double shout down. It hurts.
Pyra and Mithra. Goes away. The Mii Fighter. A solid laugh. Some sort of honorific goes here, but not being included in our final. Ken from Street Fighter.
Rescue.
Yep, I agree. Little Mac.
Rescue.
Yeah, I like Little Mac.
Mega Man.
See you in hell, Mega Man.
See you in hell,
Wow.
Mega Man.
Incineroar. See
I
you
hope
in hell,
you die, and
Incineroar.
I hope it's bad.
Bayonetta. Rescue.
I won't stop you.
I won't stop you.
And the Inkling. The Inkling is going away, which means that those in contention for our final ranking are as follows: Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Mario, Wii Fit Trainer, Olimar, Zero Suit Samus, Bayonetta, Ken, Little Mac,
Rob, Sheik, Greninja. Oh, no. Ganondorf, Simon, Kazuya, Min Min, Sephiroth, Jigglypuff, Falco, Joker, Ice Climbers, Roy, Lucas, Terry Bogard, Steve from Minecraft, Snake, Captain Falcon, Samus, and Duck Hunt. So my vote is we rank a top 10.
Great.
And so I think we can start just like comparing two against each other and just kind of quickly saying like, well, do we like this one better than that one? Do you know what I mean?
Well, so do we want to assume that the 6 in S tier are locked in as a part of our top 10?
Seems reasonable to me.
So
Yeah.
that means that we're only competing for 4 other slots.
Wow.
So
The stakes are high.
stakes are really high. So now with that mindset, this group of 22 needs to be whittled down to 4.
Wow.
I think an easy one for me to get rid of, as much as I sung its praises earlier and we just rescued it from the B tier, is I just cannot imagine a world where Wii Fit Trainer makes it into
No.
our top 10.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm going to say both Donkey and Diddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
completely
I
agree.
think that's right. There's too much bad blood for both of them.
Too much baggage. I don't want that.
Too much baggage.
I'm gonna say Mario Kirby.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't make our top 10.
No, it doesn't.
A strong contender, but
Very, very clean, very iconic.
Yes.
and I feel this way about Ganondorf as well. Another one that is good, but I love the like the negative space where human ears should go, but Kirby does not have those.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's going to make our top 10.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think also Lucas. I like that big poof of yellow hair, but I feel like there's no way it makes it in the top 10.
No, I'm not ready to cut it.
You're not. Greg is not ready to
I'm
cut
rescuing.
it. Okay.
Am I getting shouted down?
No, I will hear it out. But how about Sephiroth?
Yeah, we can cut.
We can cut Sephiroth.
And I will say, well, okay, here's the thing. I really like Falco Kirby.
Me too.
I love
too.
the eye
Me
makeup.
too.
So I'm gonna keep this one in contention for now.
Okay, we're putting those on the window.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Joker Kirby with the Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah, that's a yes for me.
Okay.
yeah.
Roy.
I'm already forgetting.
Roy looks really good with the red hair, but I don't think at this
Right,
point
the red hair.
looking good with the red hair is a strong
Is
enough
enough.
benchmark. I
Yeah,
think it's bye-bye Roy.
Bye, Roy. I think Jigglypuff too is probably time for the Jigglypuff
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Strong
agree.
showing.
Min Min.
Yeah. I'm ready to say bye-bye to Min Min.
It's good.
Min,
it's
more like bye.
See you in hell.
Ice Climber, I say keep it. I say we got to keep it.
I say keep
I
Ice
like
Climbers
it,
as
yeah.
well.
Kazuya.
Yeah, we it's still in
gotta stay
contention.
Rob.
Oh, this is a fine
Hmm.
time for Rob to go out, I think.
Unfortunately, it is Rob's
Yeah.
time.
Sorry, Rob.
Unfortunately.
Sheik, I really like. I want to keep Sheik.
Okay, we're keeping Sheik for now.
I also really like Simon.
Yeah, there's
Simon's great.
there's a little bit of an awakening here with Simon.
Bayonetta, I could do without.
Cut.
So long.
Same with Little
So
Mac.
long, Beauty Mark.
Little Mac cut.
Yep. Ken. He says Hadouken.
Ken is cut.
Ken is cut.
Unfortunately.
Zero Suit Samus.
I'm not ready to say goodbye just yet.
I think we have to though. Not evocative
Yeah, it's
of the
time to
Zero
cut.
Suit.
It's time to cut.
Okay.
I love that look, but it's time to cut.
Yep. And then Olimar.
Cut.
Okay.
It's a good representation of Olimar. Never going to be one of my favorites.
Okay. So now we have our 6 S tier and then another 7 A.
So we need to cut 3?
We need to cut 3 more, and maybe at this point we bring them all together.
I do. I think we
Okay.
look at it holistically.
Okay.
Because maybe some of these S tiers we
realize are less good than
right. Because like Ice Climbers, I kind of like it better than Duck Hunt Kirby. I think
I don't.
All right. So, just as a refresher, here's what we're dealing with: Sheik, Ice Climbers, Falco, Simon, Joker, Kazuya, Lucas, Snake, Duck Hunt, Captain Falcon, Samus Aran, Steve from Minecraft, and Terry Bogart. Gentlemen?
So Captain Falcon and Joker kind of have the same virtues for me.
Yep.
They're
Masks and eyes.
Yeah, I feel like they're very similar, and those are two that I feel like we could settle on, or I would be happy settling on one that we want to continue.
I'll say a similar thing about Terry and Simon.
Yeah,
They've
good
both
call.
got that 80s genre sort of vibe going on.
Yep. I think that's solid. I see one here that to me sticks out. And though I love the multiple looks of the Kazuya Kirby, I think it's not actually as strong or as concise as the rest of these. I think maybe
you
the
know
fact that it needs 2 looks.
One thing that I will say for the Kazuya Kirby is that it delivers what I want, or the like vampire look that it gets
With the wings.
with the wings. It delivers what I wanted from Meta Knight. That like
Yeah.
full transformation.
and kind of what we want from like Ridley too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's strange to me when they are willing to like go there with some of these characters, but then other ones
Yeah.
it just not as much. But I agree, it does kind of stand out as like a sore thumb in amongst the others.
What do you think, Greg? Think we can remove it?
Yeah.
Kazuya's gone.
I do. I don't. I'm gonna put Sheik and Lucas together as bottoms for me.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
not inspiring me anymore.
I think I like Sheik more than I like the Lucas.
I'll give you that.
I was suggesting that we get rid of the Lucas earlier.
Let's it's time to say.
So long, Lucas.
So now we're at 11, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Just one
yes.
more.
So we're at Ice Climbers, Joker, Captain Falcon, Terry Bogard, Simon, Falco, Sheik, Snake, Duck Hunt, Samus Aran, and Minecraft / Steve.
I would say that my least favorites on here: Sheik, Duck Hunt.
I'm going to agree with Sheik. I'm going to fight for Duck Hunt. I would say Sheik, Simon, and Joker are my least favorite.
I would rather, if we're choosing between Joker or Captain Falcon, I would vote for Captain Falcon over Joker.
What do you mean, to stay or to go?
To stay. Sorry, to stay.
So it sounds like we're about to eject either Sheik or Joker.
I personally like Sheik more than I like Joker. I like that it is unique among the ones that are up here.
Joker's gone.
Wow.
Which I think means Sheik is our number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Although honestly, like I love a lot about Falco, Kirby. I like the Sheik one more personally.
Let's just temporarily do that then. Sheik at number 9, Falco at number 10, and we can shuffle these as we keep going up. Do we have a candidate for number 8? I think maybe that's where I put Duck Hunt.
That's where I would put Duck Hunt as well.
I'd put him higher.
Do you have a one that you'd like to nominate for 8?
Yeah, I would say.
Actually, maybe Simon?
Yeah, either Simon or Ice Climbers is what I was going to say.
Let's go Simon at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Ice Climbers at 7.
I would also, like, looking at the ones that are left on the board, like Duck Hunt, Captain Falcon, Terry Bogard, Snake, Samus Aran, and Minecraft. I would say Samus Aran is probably, for me, I love it, but not as much as I like some of these other ones, like full transformations.
But yeah, Samus is a full transformation.
But it's
that
just
also honors the minimalism and the cleanness.
And it's funny.
And it's funny.
It's just her helmet covering the Kirby body. I think that one is so like clean and good and virtuous.
I came into today's recording ready to say Samus needs to be number 1.
Yeah.
That was my back pocket opinion. Now that we're here, I don't know what'll happen, but that's how strongly I feel about it.
I personally think the Snake Kirby transformation and
that's sort of become my number 1.
And I really like the Terry Bogard transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is such a full, like, Kirby gets a full body transformation. He gets the little gloves, he gets like the hat. Like, it embodies the character in a way that I wanted so many more of these transformations to do.
I mean, I do think that, like, right now we sort of have at the bottom of our top 10, number 10 Falco, number 9 Sheik, 8 Simon, 7 Ice Climbers, and 6 Duck Hunt. Those can all change, but I think that does leave the 5 that are left as our top 5. Like, I think Snake, Samus, Steve, Terry, and Captain Falcon are the top 5.
I'm comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Steve is the Minecraft transformation probably is number 5. It's an inspired thing that they do, but it's also the only thing you can do.
Mm. Yeah, and it is so breaking the aesthetic that I almost feels like that's what limits it. It's almost not Kirby anymore, if that makes sense.
It is the only time where they change his shoes. The only time.
Yeah, it's tough for me because that is one of the things that I really like about that transformation.
Oh, 100%.
Is that, man, I wish they would have taken that swing elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. Out of what is left, I would definitely. But would I put it above Duck Hunt Dog? I don't know if that's true. I might put Duck Hunt above Minecraft.
What about Ice Climbers?
I would put it above.
I'd
Ice
put it above
Climbers.
Ice Climbers.
Okay, let's do that. So Duck Hunt is our number 5. Minecraft is our number
Man.
6. Our top 4, and these are all super strong. Captain Falcon, Terry Bogard, Samus, and Snake.
I think Captain Falcon is next for me.
And then Terry at
No,
number 3. Greg
I would have put Terry next. I think.
at number 4.
Yeah.
If they had given, I just really love like the full
gloves.
transformation.
It's fun.
And so I wish they would have done that for Captain Falcon.
If he had little driving gloves.
Yeah. Like he could wear a little outfit for Captain Falcon.
But I think the playfulness and the experimentation really drives things like Minecraft and Terry high. But there's something about the classicism of it's just his head that I really enjoy about Falcon and Samus.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just feels like when I think of Kirby, that's what I think of.
Here's what I'm going to propose. I think Terry number 4, Captain Falcon number 3, Samus Aran number 2, Snake number 1.
I like it.
Greg, how you feeling?
Snake number 1 is hard for me to swallow for some reason.
How do you feel about 3 and 4?
That was Terry and then Falcon.
Terry at 4, Captain Falcon at number 3.
I feel great about that.
Okay, which means then it is either Snake or Samus's to lose. And by lose, I mean come in second out of 81 transformations.
Can I see Snake again? Can we pull up Snake?
We're pulling up Snake. I think it's on the second page of the. We are using, by the way, this is a good time to announce this, the Nintendo Life article that
There he is.
catalogs all of the transformations.
So looking at Snake, again, I love it. Super like drag king sort of thing going on.
Holding the grenade in his
little
flipper.
nub.
Yeah.
I do like the way that like the Samus transformation. I don't know. There's something. Maybe this is a dumb bias, but I like the like Nintendo on Nintendo aspect of the Samus one as well.
It's also classic. It goes through every version of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. And Snake is very funny.
It's very funny, but they're both very funny, and that's what I like about both these transformations.
I do feel a little bit like the Samus one is funny because of its reverence and its sweetness. Snake to me is funny because of its irreverence. And to me, wholesomeness will kind of always win, especially with Kirby.
Should we count to 3 and then vote?
Yes, we'll do 3, 2, 1, and then we will say which one will be our number 1. 3, 2, 1. Samus. Samus Aran is the number 1 best copy ability in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Top 10 are as follows. Number 10, Falco. Number 9, Sheik. Number 8, Simon. Number 7, Ice Climbers. Number 6, Steve from Minecraft. Number 5, Duck Hunt. Number 4, Terry Bogart. Number 3, Captain Falcon. Number 2, Snake. And number 1, Samus Aran. All right, gentlemen, let's close this out. My goodness, we did it.
Wow.
You
it's
guys.
strong.
Yeah, that's a strong top 10.
Wow.
Greg, thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us.
What
Thank
a
you so
pleasure.
much
What
for
a
being
joy.
here.
Thank you for having me. Anytime.
Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Just give me a follow at Smith L. Greg at Twitter and Instagram. What I usually do on my Twitter is I rank ephemera from Nintendo games. Just kidding. No, I make silly jokes. Yeah, give me a follow.
Give Greg a follow. He's a good follow. And that's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Please remember to rate, review, and follow us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get podcasts. If you like the episode, you should share it on Facebook or Twitter or any kind of place where you share things with other people. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Patrick_Ellers. Mark is at MKE Mitchell, and the show is at Cart Society. There's also a Facebook page, which is just Nintendo Cartridge Society. Olivia Duncan made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.
I'm Brian Husky. I'm bald.
And I'm Charlie Sanders, and I'm also bald. And we host Bald Talk on the Campfire Media Network.
Bald Talk is the podcast where two bald comedians talk to anyone bald about being bald.
But this show isn't just for baldies, Brian. Harrows will love it too.
Bald Talk gets into vulnerability, vanity, insecurity, and self-acceptance, reminding us that we all have our respective bald spots. Not that bald spots are a bad thing.
No way. I mean, my entire head is one big bald spot.
It is one huge, beautiful bald spot, Charlie.
Get Bald Talk on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
I mean, I have like a little bit of hair, but not like you. Like, you're really bald.
I'm truly bald.
Great. I mean, it's
I'm
great.
balder than you.
You are balder than me.
Only on Bald Talk. Campfire.